Hi everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Radiant Shadows. Hi. Yeah,
there are people. They're here. They're watching us.
I know. Oh God, I know. I suddenly need to work out how to do this stuff. Hey, thanks everyone for coming along.
Last week
on Survivor. So a couple of quick shout outs before we just launch into stuff and we go around and say hi to everyone who's playing. Firstly, 2-minute tabletop. If we use some maps today, 2-minute tabletop is where we got them from. So shout out to those guys. Potentially, we will also be using some Sirenscape. So some of tonight's music and sound will be provided by them because epic games need epic sound.
Tagline.
Hero Forge for tokens and character art. We've been using those for the moment. And that's all I'm going to do. There's some other stuff which I'll let other people talk about. So I'm going to hand over firstly to Promethean because you're right in the middle of my Zoom call. Congratulations.
I appreciate that. Hi, I'm Promethean. It's my pleasure. I'm Promethean. Tonight I am Delgrim Harrowfell, a Dwergar ranger from faraway distant lands who doesn't talk like that at all.
Not at all.
Wow. Or maybe he does, and this is all just a big fake out.
Could be. Fake accent the whole way.
Excellent. Excellent. And with that dramatic music, John.
Oh dear. Yes, I'm John from Meeples and Dragons.
Nice.
We run funnily enough, a web store, and we're streaming as well. Tonight I am playing Tiernan, the Shardfolk artificer, who is basically left the moving city of Catharbal and has absolutely no idea what he's doing.
Meeplesanddragons.com.au, go and buy everything.
Yeah, I'm terrible at
everything. No, seriously, literally everything.
That does not count for bingo. That does not count for bingo. The game has not started yet. It does not count for bingo.
On the subject of bingo, Kate.
Hello, I am Kate. I am a player over on Dungeons and Doctorates, but tonight I am playing Rowan, our ridiculous little halfling warlock, who is a bundle of fun, so much so that I got bored this week and made a bingo card for the stream. So if you want to see it, I think Meeples and Dragons have just tweeted it out. It's over on my Twitter. It's over lots of places on the internet. You should do it. See if we do all the stupid things over and over again, and you can catch us out doing it.
Yep, and the winner gets a 2022 Nissan. What was it? What was Meeples and Dragons providing? I can't remember.
Just a little. It was just like
a
the little,
thumbs up.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't meant to say that. That's for the next stream. Cool. Awesome. Cheers, Kate. Heath.
G'day everyone, I'm Heath. I am the Antipodean D20. I'm a gamer, an old school gamer from South Australia. It's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Meeples and Dragons and our lovely cast and crew here. This is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm playing Grumpfel, who is a Svirfneblin cleric.
Outstanding. And lucky last, Cass.
Hi, I'm Cass. I'm playing Miera, Greenleaf. I'm a halfling.
You're not actually a halfling.
Well, I don't know. Conversations before we went live seem to suggest that maybe I am.
Yeah, okay. Look, fair call. Awesome. Okay, I think that's everything. Is there anything else anyone wants to announce, throw out into the wind?
Just a random thought. Perhaps Miera is a halfling because she's right now having second stream. We've had one stream, yes, but what about second stream?
What about second streams?
This is
Yeah.
true. This is true.
I mean, I have something I can shamelessly promote. I was waiting until the halfling chat was all over, but there's a couple of us involved in this particular little project right here on Meeples and Dragons that are involved in another project tomorrow night. So Corsairs Cove and Josh the Pirate are doing International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day on account of birthdays and charity and things, raising money for children's cancer support. And both myself, I'll be playing from 10 p.m. Australian Western Standard Time, also known as 7 p.m. Eastern, tomorrow night until 2 a.m. So come and watch me descend into madness. And then the following day, Saz, who is behind the scenes for us here, somewhere in the ether, will also be playing another game in the afternoon. So there will be 27 hours straight of D&D. The first game is all kids playing, and with Josh and Karen. So it'll be a great time. Come hang out. It'll be over on Corsair's Cove. I will drop a link at the end of this stream in the chat so that you can all find it tomorrow.
Shameless self-promotion.
Always.
Yeah. Woo!
Excellent.
And
Well,
also
Bingo,
thank
you get
you
one.
to SazTheMeeple, who's running behind the scenes who
Don't shame
Find everything
that.
to do.
That doesn't count.
Nah.
Jerks.
without her, none of this would be
Can't have them get bingo straight off the bat. That's not the point.
You know, it doesn't start until the game actually
Yeah,
starts.
yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
in
so
the
for
game.
those of you who've been overzealous, stop it.
Yeah.
I'm
no.
being overzealous. That was a shout out to Saz. Sorry. That's just how it is. I'm calling it. I'm taking it.
And I would also, so on the subject of Saz, because she is awesome, we were talking about like episode titles and stuff like that. This episode, ironically enough, is called Fireworks, and like in somewhere nearby, someone is letting off fireworks right now near
Excellent.
my house. So if for some reason you either hear loud banging or you see me jump or potentially poop myself, that's because I've been surprised by some fireworks. So
Meeples and Dragons marketing are on point.
Is
yeah,
It's not-
excellent.
that does
is
not
that
count.
is that- is-
No,
is that the
no.
free is that the free spot on the bingo?
No, it does not. By the way, that Ham was fully aware of what he said, so it does not count for the bingo card.
I'm very
Right.
disappointed if I don't see a firework fly past behind you now.
Look,
Halfway through
Oh
the
dear, oh dear.
I've got the window open, so who knows what'll happen.
Oh dear.
Okay.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Off to a classy start already.
Yeah, this is amazing.
This is why we have to take nice things for ourselves.
Wow. Damn.
Alrighty.
Okay.
All right. Hey, let's play some D&D.
Yeah.
Cool. I know, novel concept. So not last week, 2 weeks ago, because we play fortnightly. Yeah, I know. I can count. I'm an adult. An eclectic collection of strangers turned up in the small town of Greenfield, which was in the process of celebrating its summer solstice. An interesting collection of people from various parts of the world. They happened upon this small town for various reasons. Met a few of the local townsfolk as they partook in some of the celebrations that were going on. There was a little bit of dancing, a little bit of insulting people, or at least trying to maybe communicate effectively with people, not looking at anyone in particular, Delgrim. Meeting the various folks of the town, including Peridin, who was the Baron of the small town of Greenfield, a fairly nervous individual who was not necessarily looked at particularly well across from the various townsfolk. You also met the likes of Priscilla and Wex, who were two of the local priests, who inversely to Peridin seemed to be looked at in a very favourable light. You took a small amount of time to slowly get to sort of know each other a little bit, being the only sort of strangers in the town. Partook in some festive dancing, and then found out that there was meant to be quite an elaborate fireworks display, which was no longer going to be happening due to the fact that the wagon and the supplies had been waylaid or even attacked on its journey to Greenfield. A young individual, a young man called Tolbin, who had been guarding the supplies, had managed to make it back and advised the townsfolk of what had happened, and that there appeared to be some creatures lurking in the hills off to the east who had attacked these wagons. The townsfolk, rightfully enough, were very disappointed by this. And then our brave collection of individuals came forward, offering to lend their assistance to try and help in the recovery of these fireworks. The townsfolk were very grateful. And as the evening wound to a close, the adventurers returned, took their rest, at the Fleece and Scythe Inn to prepare for the journey the next day to go and see what they could find out. So the next day has now rolled around. Outside, it's overcast. It was a beautiful sunny day the day before, but today there's just a few more clouds lingering in the sky. It's a little bit cooler, but it's still a very pleasant summer's day. And as various members of the party make their way down into the common room, it's empty. You can see that there is a small pot that's over the hearth, a very low fire that's bubbling away. There appears to be something in the pot, and you can see beside the pot there's a small dish that's just been put sort of on the hearth next to it. And you can recall from the night before being told by Nissa, one of the furbolgs who runs the inn, that donations for any food could be put in there. Nissa herself right now can be seen behind the bar, just casually. Looks like she's just going through sort of cleaning up a few pots and plates and stuff like that. And as people make their way down into the common room, she just gives you a small wave. Now, I'm not sure if there's any particular order in which people want to sort of appear down there, if there's any early risers or anything of that nature, but I'll leave that up to you guys.
I think Rowan is an obnoxiously early riser, so she's probably, if other people are filtering down, she's probably been down there for 20 minutes, half an hour, with a cup of Delgrim's favorite, and just chilling out in whatever largish chair she's been able to find.
There's a kind of a weird collection of chairs.
Yeah.
There's a couple which, obviously, because there's a number of furbolgs and bugbears in the town, that are sort of a little bit bigger. There's also a few that would be smaller to cater for some of the halflings and stuff. They've tried to sort of do their best here. So yeah, absolutely, she could find something wildly inappropriate.
Yeah,
if she was after.
Wildly too big in that like morning sitting with the cup of coffee, slightly curled up into the chair rather than sitting waiting.
Can I just point out, so Kate said Delgrim's favourite. I'm pretty sure she meant Grumpfel's favourite.
I did mean
for the
Grumpfel's
record, Delgrim's favourite is giant spider milk. So I guess we're going to make that canon.
Maybe that's what's mixed in with it.
Yeah, that's a thing now. That's a thing that you just put into your
a
body.
dangerous occupation, milking a spider.
Well,
it is done. It is done for research purposes, but that's beside the point.
That's just
Which end does it come out of, though?
But a giant spider?
So Nissa would.
We're Australian. Giant is relative.
Yeah.
Crikey, danger.
So Nissa would sort of fuss around you, Rowan, when you first come down. A very sort of very motherly sort of presence, making sure, do you want any food? And, there's some porridge that's over there, just sort of, keeping warm over the fire. And, just put your money in there if you want any, and, whatever drink you want, and sort of fusses. When you sort of position yourself on the giant chair, you can she sort of appears beside you. It's like, there's some smaller ones over there if you'd prefer.
I think she looks up with that big smile that she's been using on basically everyone since she arrived in town.
Yeah.
And just pulls no, it's fine. I just want to curl up for a bit while I wait for everyone else. It's all good. Sitting in the normal chair is fine when we're sitting around a table, but like curling up in it's just not as comfortable.
Okay. Oh no, that's fine. I'm glad you're comfortable. She sort of gives you a slightly awkward smile and retreats back sort of behind the bar to do her thing. The rest of you all would filter down. Again, I'm not sure if there's any particular order you guys want to appear, if you'd all sort of get up at roughly the same time.
Yeah,
Tierna's
probably stumble down.
late.
I'd be awake. Probably, well, I would have gone down, but I wouldn't be awake.
Right, okay. Yeah. And sorry, Tiernan, what were you saying?
Tiernan would stumble down a little bit later, looking very tired, maybe a little bit disheveled.
Yep.
Staying up late a little bit too much.
Yep. So Miera, when you get downstairs, you'd see Rowan down there already, in her giant chair, and as you appear, and Nissa would come over, very much the same sort of situation. Oh, good morning, dear, and how did you sleep? I hope it was a good sleep, and food over there, and what do you want to drink, and do, and sort of, make sure you're comfortable and set up with anything that you might need.
I'll give a wave to Rowan just to acknowledge her, and then I'll just ask Nissa if I can have a hot chocolate, please.
Hot chocolate. I'm sure we can organise something. Absolutely.
And one of your best cookies, please.
Cookies. Oh, I'm really sorry, dear. We don't actually have any cookies.
No, that's okay. That's okay. And Miera will just like root around in her bag and grab out a cookie that she's got in her bag and just start kind of nibbling on it.
Okay. She's like, oh, well, I see you've got some of your own. I mean, we do. I mean, if you go round to the bakery, they'll have some around there for you. But I mean, it appears you're pretty well set up already.
Yes, thank you.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. Potter's back. The rest of you all gradually sort of filter down, and Nissa addresses any drinks that you might want. Everything is free still after the offer from the previous night. In regards to paying for any of the food, she still points out it's just a donation. I know some people aren't always comfortable with everything that's free, and you're more than welcome to help yourself. And there's a plate there if you want to just throw a few coins in, but it's completely optional. It's no pressure. Once you're all sort of settled around a table,
Grumpfel kind of he thumps down and sort of half asleep, and cape robe whatever still over him. Now I was told there was coffee. Until I've had my coffee, I am not a morning person.
Oh, look, absolutely. Do you want milk, cream, sugar? How do you like your coffee?
I think for this morning, black shall suffice, thank you.
And she gives you a brief little nod and a big warm beaming smile, and potters off and returns a few minutes later with this very big, well, I guess for you, it would be even bigger mug / bucket of this black steaming coffee, which is it's almost too hot, but not quite. It's just that perfect temperature. But again, she's like, just don't burn your tongue. So it's the same thing to Miera when she produces hot chocolate for her. Be careful, it's a hot drink. Very motherly kind of vibe that she's giving off.
Well, by this stage, Tiernan would have wandered on down, and he's too busy yawning, rubbing his eyes. He's got dark circles under it. He goes, "Oh, did I smell coffee?" Looks over there, looking too busy. Trying to look over your shoulder, Grumpfel, which isn't really too hard because you're considerably shorter.
It looks straight ahead. Nissa overhears you, and she's like, "Oh, would you like some coffee as well?" And you're looking. If you don't want. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, Tiernan, but you look quite tired. Did you have a poor night's sleep? Was the bed not comfortable enough? Was there a problem?
Just stayed up a little bit late tinkering.
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
Did you do double shots?
Double shots of coffee. Look, I can do whatever it is that you require. Absolutely.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. And she potters away and comes back. As she comes back, Delgrim
is probably over full. He says, "No, nothing this morning. I too much fish pie. I ate far too much pie."
I can absolutely understand that. The fish pie is particularly good. So you don't want anything to drink or anything of that?
It was very good fish pie. If you have spider milk, I will take.
No, I'm sorry. To be honest, I didn't know you could drink spider's milk. I'm not sure how you would.
It is amazing drink. It is amazing drink. You come to my home one time. I milk you spider.
Look, I am. Would you like something else to drink instead, maybe? Or I can get you cow's milk, or we've got goat's milk, or I can get you a coffee or just some water. Or
I get same as friend Tiernan.
Okay, excellent. And she sort of keeps going and returns a moment later with both of you with these two big steaming cups of black coffee.
Tiernan noticeably sits up like this the moment he hears the word friend, being called friend.
Yeah, nice. The coffee, when you try it, I'm not sure if Delgrim is used to coffee. So when you said you wanted a double shot, Tiernan, you're fairly certain that if you put a spoon to this, it's either going to disintegrate or just stand straight up. This stuff is insanely potent. Tasty, nice, but just super strong.
I've had stronger, but this will work.
Oh, good. I'm glad, and I'd like food's over there. If you want anything that's not porridge, we've got some bread. I've just baked some this morning, and there's some honey and cream. If you want anything like that, I'm more than happy to get stuff for anybody here.
Just some simple bread would be more than enough, thank you.
Excellent.
But if you don't mind my asking, I could have sworn someone was talking about some sort of cat creatures last night.
Oh, give me just a moment. I'll go get some food, and I'll come back and I'll tell you what I know.
Mm-hmm.
She potters away and comes back with two smallish loaves of bread, and puts them down on the table. And there's a knife, and she's got a little sort of pellet of butter. And as she starts to cut the bread, like it parts, and there's just those little wisps of steam which come from like just super fresh bread. It's so soft. She starts putting some butter on it, which basically sort of melts on impact, and just starts giving it to everybody, whether or not people have asked or not. All of you suddenly find yourself a plate with a big piece of this buttered bread in front of it.
Delgrim will reach out and just kind of grab some of the butter on its own and just have a little taste.
She's like, oh, okay.
It's good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure how people where you're from have butter, but normally here we put it on things like bread, or people sometimes put it on corn and stuff like that. And normally you'd use like a knife or something to cut it rather than just your fingers. But look, I'm look, Tiernan, sorry, you asked the question about the cat things. And she pulls up another one of the bigger chairs and sits beside Rowan, which probably looks really quite comical because of the fact that Rowan's on the giant chair as well. So there's a whole lot of weird perspective stuff going on. She sits down and she says, "Well, I mean, it's been a few months now. I can't think of exactly how long, but there's been talk of people seeing some large sort of black, what appear to be cat-like creatures out to the hills to the east. One of the farmers originally thought they were just a couple of big wolves, but someone else got a better view of them. They've only been seen once or twice, but ever since they were spotted, there's been a lot of issues with people's livestock going missing. Cows, goats, sheep. There's been a few stories of people going missing. No one from the village. There's been a few sort of rumors and stuff, but no one that I'm aware of. But
Grumpfel. Yes.
It was Atheless. Did we not think Atheless gone missing and maybe eaten by a creature?
There was someone, I overheard someone saying that, yes, he'd gone missing, but as for being eaten, those specifics I don't think we ventured into, but not outside the realms of possibility, I suppose.
Someone was eaten?
Nissa kind of frowns and says, I hadn't even thought about that. When I know that Atheless has gone, but I mean, that was probably about a week ago, I think. Which is strange because he's normally, I mean, he's lived here for many, many years, but he was acting very, very strange for a while, and then all of a sudden he seemed to go back to his usual self. He spent a whole lot of time sort of tucked away in his cabin up by Lullaby Lake, and was quite rude and abrasive to people. But I don't know, we've had a few strange things come by. I mean, we had a delightful young halfling woman pass through here asking about whether or not there was a half-elf wizard or something nearby. And I mean, she stopped here for the night, and I just assumed it was Atheless, so I gave her directions, and she stayed the night, and she seemed to be lovely. And then sort of the last I saw of her, and then Atheless vanished as well.
Sorry, Nessa. The halfling that you gave directions to.
Yeah. Yes.
What do they look like?
short. Oh gosh, a very very distinct. Two different coloured eyes, darker hair. Lovely young woman.
Where did you give her directions to?
Just to where Athelas's house is.
Near Lullaby Lake.
Near Lullaby Lake. I mean, there's a small path that just leads out that way. If you follow that, it's just sort of to the north of the town. It's easy to find.
Okay.
What was her name again? It was Belinda, Bridget, Bex. That was it. She was really quite nice. She said that she was potentially going to be going east or something, but wanted to find this person.
Did she look okay? She wasn't scared or upset or.
No more than you are, dear. I mean, she seemed, like I said, she seemed delightful. I mean, we do get a fair few visitors through here. We're sort of a bit of a thoroughway between Harrow and Deep Cove, but
Sorry,
don't get yeah.
When did you last see it?
Oh, this would have been probably about a week ago, I think, roughly. Yeah. Do you know her?
I do. She comes from Sparkletown. I'm actually looking for her.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there's not much else I can say, really. I mean, as far as I know, that she was planning on heading east. But whether or not, I mean, maybe she went with Athelas, or I mean, I'm hoping that whoever it is that's saying that maybe Athelas got maybe attacked by these creatures, I hope for your sake she wasn't involved with that. That would be terrible.
That would be very terrible.
I would.
East. Okay.
East.
Thank you.
Yes. Look,
but you sent her north first. You sent friend of friend north to Athelas' cabin first.
Yes, because she was asking about a wizard nearby. She's just said she's looking for a half elf wizard. She didn't know his name or anything like that, but I mean, Athelas is the only wizard within miles of here. I mean, wizards aren't exactly common in these parts. So I sort of said, maybe go and see there. And just in casual conversation, she mentioned that she was heading east as well. So,
are wizards common in other parts?
She sort of gives a chuckle and says, I mean, I'm born and bred here in Greenfield, sir. I don't really know. I mean, Athelas has been here for probably at least 20 years. Some of the big towns, I mean, Deep Cove, I'm sure that there's wizards and the like there. I don't know that.
Deep Cove is east or west?
Deep Cove is to the west. Harrow, which is to the east. Honestly, I don't know. There is some talk that the gnome who makes the fireworks that we were meant to be getting is a wizard. But I also wonder whether or not people just say that because he makes these amazing devices. Maybe it is magic. I don't know. I don't know how these things work.
And at the mention of fireworks, Delgrim just immediately is fully awake and ready to tackle the day. But does turn to Miera and says, friend Miera, we are going to find monster and firework, but if you are missing friend, if you want help to find friend, Delgrim will help.
At that
Thank
sentence,
you.
Rowan is nodding. Rowan's like, yeah.
Thank you so much. That would be amazing. I've never left Sparkletown before, so it's totally overwhelming, and I don't know why Bex left. I just need to find her. So any help you can give me would be amazing.
This is untrue. You have left Sparkletown. You are here now, in Greenfield. You are in a whole other town. You should be
but
proud.
It's the first time. It's the first time. I am very proud, though.
You
First
have
time
not
staying
been-
in a different bed last night.
That is scary, yes. You have not been eaten. You should be proud.
Wait, what? We got to be worried about being eaten.
It is always a wonderful thing to venture out and see things for yourself.
Very true, Grumpfel. Very true.
I know how you feel, Miera. I'm sort of looking for a lost person as well.
Oh, really? Who are you looking for?
My mother.
Oh, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. She left? What happened?
Where is
It's a
Mother?
long story that I'm not really comfortable with going into everything at the moment. But I know what I know how you feel. It's the first time from that I've left home too.
Well, maybe we can all help each other find what we need to find, I guess.
Let's
You with
hope so.
bags, you, your mum, whatever anyone else might be searching for. But first fireworks, right?
But first fireworks.
Yes, firework.
So
Go.
no, you go.
I think I would like to talk to Baron, to Peredin. I think he and I maybe got off on wrong hand last night. I
But
think maybe time for Delgrim to have another conversation with Baron.
do you want me to come with you? She sort of swings her feet out from the chair and is now comically unable to put her feet on the floor.
Well, you are welcome to join.
That sounds like a plan. Does anyone else have things they need to do this morning before we figure out where we're heading off after this?
Oh, only to grab a few rations before I go. I'm kinda a little low.
You eat so much food, Tiernan. There's so much food.
Oh, it's more of a case that I got nothing to last. I've scrounged a little bit yesterday, but I feel bad doing it.
There was whole pig here last night. Why you not take whole pig food?
Tiernan's pretty confused at this point, and he's like, I was under the impression it was free, but only for the consumption of the period of time that we were enjoying the celebration. Now the celebration is over, I wasn't supposed to take too much. I got that at the end of everything, but
Think issue is more putting in pocket. Putting in pocket is strange. People do not like strange in this place.
oh,
I know,
Do I look
and I am
do I look
expert on strange. No, you don't. You do not look strange. You are strange to me. You are very, very tall. But putting food in pocket. This is strange.
oh, okay. Tiernan flips out the small little notebook and starts writing down a couple of notes to himself. Note in pockets. Much appreciated.
At this stage, sort of Nissa sort of leans forward and goes, or I could actually just wrap you up some food. You might find that it actually lasts a little bit better if it's not just in your pocket. And especially just the right types of food. So I can give you maybe some dried meats. I know I gave you some stuff yesterday.
Ooh, jerky. Yes, I remember we were speaking about jerky.
Yes, no, I'm sure that we can probably dig up some more, and there's some dried fruits and nuts. We're probably enough to make probably a day's rations for all of you. Again, it's
thank you,
the
Nissa.
least
Yes,
that we can do.
please. That would
Thank
be
you, Nissa.
amazing. Thank you.
Well, look, if some of you are planning on heading out to see Peredin, then I can get organised. I can make you some rations and stuff. So when you come back, I'll have them all neatly packaged up for you, and that way they'll travel safely and they'll last a little bit longer. Because Tiernan, putting them in your pocket's probably not a good idea.
No.
And then once you're set, at least you'll have something to get you by for at least a day. I mean, it's a couple of days to the hills, I think, where they were talking about, but that'll help a little bit.
This is good. Thank you. This is very kind of you to give us more food. If we are going to go outside, I will need my hat, my gift hat. Just one moment, hang.
While Delgrim's doing that,
Yes! Yes!
Oh dear.
I am
Beautiful.
ready. I am ready to adventure. Shall we go?
I was expecting you to take longer. I thought I'll jump in and fill here.
So I normally
Yes!
I don't
Yeah, amigo.
normally do use inspiration because I forget half the time. But holy shit, dude! Absolutely have inspiration for that because that's just absolutely friggin' gold.
I knew we
it's
joked about you
perfect.
getting it, but like,
No, that is
Oh.
absolutely outstanding.
Why you laugh? It's beautiful hat.
And this again,
Fantastic.
it absolutely suits you, Delgrim. It's yes, it looks great.
Looks shady in there.
his eyes are really sensitive, so it's just to help protect him from the sun.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. And
It
it's
make me feel quite comfortable. Yes.
yeah, it's quite the fashion statement too. So I think you look fabulous, Delgrim.
Is it like really wide brim?
Yeah, it's like that is probably like pretty much spot on.
Okay, so it's going to be like when we're walking along, if he ever talks to me, I'm just going to see the top of this hat moving.
All of a sudden, Delgrim's Dickie Me from my house.
The sorting hat.
Mr. Summers, Mr. Summers.
So with that, Nissa gives
Old
another
school.
slightly awkward smile. Excuses herself. She said, "I'll get your rations sorted, and I'll see you back here when you come back from your trip to see the Baron." Now, do you know where he lives? I can give you directions. That's easy enough.
Directions would be very good. Thank you.
Yeah, and she proceeds to give you some directions, which heads in the direction which I believe Grumpfel and Miera, where you guys saw that big house the other day when you sort of went for a bit of a wander.
Right.
I remember
Before
that.
we set off, if I may, Haim, just looking around the tavern.
Yep.
Does tavern? What's the
Nissa?
Furbolg's name?
Nissa?
Nissa. Yes.
Yep.
Looking around, has she got any icons of the gods up? Any at all?
No, there's if anything, no, there's nothing in here.
Nothing there. Like no small thing in the corner of anyone or anything like that.
No. This almost looks like this used to be someone's house at one stage, and then it just kind of moved a bunch of furniture and rearranged things, and they sort of made a little makeshift bar to sort of set up the impression of a small inn. There's sort of some pots with some flowers in it and that sort of thing, some very simple decorations, but there is nothing which indicates any sort of religious iconography or that nature.
Just wanting to check.
No, for sure.
Sorry,
Uh,
I just caught on stream that all you can see from Ethan is that. There is no face. There is just hat.
Perfect.
which is absolutely on point.
Eradicate.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is
I think it's more like cousin It from the Addams Family.
Yeah. So the cosplay bar is slowly being set just for
Yeah.
everyone else who's playing today.
Hello.
That's amazing. Okay, so with that, Nissa excuses herself. She goes off and starts getting a bunch of rations organized. Who is looking at heading to Peridon's house? Is everybody going?
Yep.
Run.
There we go.
I'd probably join.
So I don't know if you can see the hands under the hat.
Yeah.
Who's holding Delgrim's hand so he doesn't get lost?
Yeah. So for the rest of
No,
this,
it's fine.
Are
I can
we?
fold.
Should we all go then?
Unless
Yeah.
we need to prepare for whatever we're going to do.
I
Do
thought
we
we
need
were just.
anything?
I thought we were just going to have a little chat with Pilgrim first, and then we'll make a decision about where we're going, whether we're going to the hills, whether we need to go and talk to, well, chase after your friend, Miera, whatever we need to do. We just need to talk to Pilgrim first.
If your
Professor
friend
was
is seen,
injured previously, would he be worth talking to?
Tolbin will come. Tolbin will come with us to hunt monster and firework.
Ah, great.
I'm not
Yeah, he would
sure
know
he
the
was
place.
going to come.
He
He
will
didn't
come.
seem too keen.
Delgrim not care. He will come.
He
Love
didn't
your
say it,
optimism.
chat. He didn't say it.
Okay, so with that, it sounds like the entire party is going to head off to visit Peridon. So you guys make your way out of the small inn.
Are we gonna? Are we just quickly going, then coming back for our stuff? Are we grabbing all of our stuff just so in case anyone wants to grab something, and all of a sudden Haim turns around and says, "Hey, you didn't say you took that with you."
Oh,
Are we
like Rowan's packed all her stuff up and she's like sitting downstairs because
Okay.
she's assuming they're not staying another night, that they're off to do something. So she's brought everything down.
Yeah,
well,
Tiernan's quite similar in
Grumpfel
that
will
capacity.
excuse himself for a moment and head back and grab all of his stuff.
Yep. No, that's cool. That's cool.
While everyone's doing that, Rowan's going to attempt to help clear like the crockery and the glasses that they've used, but is probably way too short to actually helpfully put them on the bar. So
there's definitely some logistical issues, and sort of there's that Nissa who is probably close to 8 feet tall. It is sort of like, just like you're sort of like half out, and she's like, no, oh god, there's you're stretching, she's bending, there's a whole lot of awkward, no, no, thank you, it's fine. I think I can. It's lovely that you're trying to help, Rowan. I think I can manage this.
Okay. Sorry,
No, it's lovely. No, it's appreciated. I know that there are parts of the establishment when aren't designed for halflings. Unfortunately, we have a strange collection of people in the town, and this used to be a house, and so everything's sort of bigger. And I appreciate the sentiment. That's lovely.
It's okay.
Thank you.
I just maybe have a think about accessibility options in case anyone decides to work for you as a halfling, because at the moment we're seeing a few little bit. It's fine. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna go.
And she's just gonna like duck off.
And you sort of you hear, okay, sure, stairs, step ladder. So you guys head outside, having collected all the bits and bobs that you want to take with you.
Sorry,
yeah.
go. Yeah, sorry, go.
It is, as I said earlier, it's an overcast day. It's still really quite warm. Not as warm as the previous day, and the small village has sort of gone back to normal now. You can see people going about their business. You get a few friendly waves from people. The streets aren't nearly as busy. In fact, it feels almost deserted in comparison to the day before. And for a lot of you who have traveled here, you would be able to sort of figure out that a large part of the community is based on the outlying farms. And they would have all come in for the celebration yesterday. So now it's really just the people who live locally. As you come around a corner, though, you almost run into a group of children. There's about 6 of them, 4 furbolgs, a bugbear, and a halfling, which really throws you off because of child height and everything. It's quite a strange combination. But they're all looking directly at Tiernan. And as you come around the corner, one of the bugbears, a young girl, steps forward, almost sort of bumps into you, almost takes out Miera first. And she says, "Oh, I'm sorry. We just wanted to talk to him." And she points very blatantly at Tiernan.
Tiernan just smiles.
So, sir, we were wondering if, like last night, you did stuff that was like fireworks, and we were wondering if you could do it again because it was really cool, and you only did it once and we didn't get any other fireworks and we missed it, and we wanted to do something really cool. Can we do it, please? Thank you. Please, maybe. And there's like a little chorus of please, thank you, please, maybe.
How about I'll make you a compromise. I'll fire one, but at the moment we're going to see about if we can find the missing fireworks.
Oh,
we can have them properly.
We heard about that. That'll be amazing if you can. If you could find one, that would be so cool.
So just the one.
Okay. And they also like sort of stand there almost vibrating.
I'll catch up with you guys if you guys want to go forward. I'll see what I can amuse the youngsters.
Stretch redemption.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Big stretch.
Oh,
Thanks, Em.
So Tiernan once again pulls out his pistol, removes the safety catch on the back, and all the gears start actually spinning up. And he taps it to his hip and immediately starts pulling out a couple of ball bearings, only 2, and tinkers with them briefly and jams them into the front of the pistol and holds it up as the thing starts to glow and fires it off again. Basically repeating the exact same process as last night. And mimics a firework to the sense of firing a firebolt up and adds both sound and an extra loud bang.
So the kids all sort of jump with a start, and you can see across the road. There's this old woman who's just walking along, sort of quite bowed, head down, and she just jumps when she hears the bang, and sort of leans up against the building, looks over and kind of gives you a bit of a weird look. But the kids are like, oh, and they all start clapping. They're like, thank you, that was awesome. We'll see you tonight when you bring the fireworks back. And they just start to run off. Are you still going to try and grab them?
I'd just say ask initial bugbear that asked me just before you go. Anything about what's the person's name? Arphilus?
She screeches to a halt as the other kids all sort of take off. As they run past, you hear one of the kids run past, go hee fart, and then they vanish off around the corner. The girl stops and she's like, Athelas. Oh, yeah, he used to live out by Lullaby Lake, but he's gone now. Mum and Dad said he just left. Don't know why. It was a bit weird. Well, he was over the last of the month or so. Otherwise, he's okay. Why?
Oh, just heard that he went missing, and then now they have fireworks stolen and some weird cat creatures in the hills. I thought it might be connected, but what about Tolden?
Do you think he stole the fireworks? Do you think he stole the fireworks?
Well, not if it was a week ago.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Good point.
Well, do you know where Tolden lives?
Why you argue logic with child? This is a strange conversation. Child, do you know where Wizard is?
No.
Why are you still here?
Sorry.
Delgrim, that's not very nice.
And she turns around and runs off.
Delgrim, if you're in that kind of mood, I don't know it's a good idea to go and see Paradin if you're going to speak to people like that.
I did not mean to frighten child.
Not the best way to make friends.
Children see things that adults don't.
This is true.
That's not because they're... But don't make jokes about short people there, Tiernan, because we see people's knees a lot better, but that's not what it is.
You want me to go get child?
I didn't mean anything like that. I'm terribly sorry, Rowan. No, I didn't mean it like that at all.
Right.
I just meant that kids are a little bit wiser than some people make them out to be.
Not wiser, child. Child's stupid.
Now,
The
not
children
all,
are as
not all
stupid as you
children.
are charismatic.
Anyway, weren't we going to see somebody?
Paradin. Yes. Miera, did you say you saw a big house on the way in?
Yeah, I think we were having a look around when we first got here.
Right.
And there was a big house up on the hill, I think. And I said to Grumpfel at the time, I'm pretty sure like the mayor's got to live there. Someone important has to live there. And obviously we found out that's Baron's, but I can't remember. I think it was past the bakery. We could probably head that way.
Yeah. And that'll...
I think a bakery stop in the morning's always a good idea if it were me.
Definitely. I could stock up on some cookies.
The two halflings are like nodding at each other in baked goods, in knowledge of baked goods.
So based on the directions that you were giving, yeah, absolutely. It definitely sounds like we're the place that you saw the day before, and definitely past the bakery. So as you guys make your way through the small village, you do see the bakery itself. There's no sign outside. Basically, the main way you can identify it's the bakery is that there is the front door is wide open and the smells coming from inside. There is that very delectable, there's that sort of sweet pastry smell currently wafting out from inside the building, and you can hear voices inside. Sounds like squabbling.
Well, if in doubt, Miera, always follow your nose.
And like she heads straight off to head inside the bakery.
And I'll be right behind her.
So you guys,
Grumpfel, if we're all there together, Grumpfel's under his breath going, lest you be downwind from someone, though.
so you guys make your way inside into the bakery. and you
Tiernan's
get-
probably going to stay outside and lean up
Okay.
against the wall.
No, totally cool.
Delgrim
must
won't,
get-
because that's kind of weird.
Yeah. And because Delgrim's totally
and
not weird.
creepy. Yeah,
Sorry,
no, not at all.
Sorry, Ham, can I just quickly jump in before we get to the bakery? A visual change for Grumpfel. I meant to say it when we were leaving the inn, when he came back down with his stuff. So as well as the tabard that you saw him in yesterday, the bundle he had with him, he actually now has leather armor underneath. He has a mace on his hip. He has a shield on his arm. He also has a crossbow across his back, and a symbol hanging from his neck like an amulet, obviously a religious symbol, or for those playing at home, a divine focus.
Cool. Awesome. Nice. You guys step into the bakery and get assaulted by the smell of baked goods. Predominantly sweet and savory smells. No fish.
Good.
And you can see straight away that there are those same 3 children who just about took out, I believe it was, might have been Rowan actually. All young, all probably sort of under the age of 8. All human kids are currently standing in one corner, just having the biggest argument. And through a back door, a man emerges, and it's the same individual who you could see who was involved with the pies the day before. He is... it's obvious that he enjoys his own wares due to the nature of his build. And he looks very sort of frustrated as he comes through and he goes, "For crying out loud, you little shit." Oh, customers. Kids, please, quiet. Thank you. Hi. Oh, it's you lot. Hey, how can I help today?
Hi.
Hi.
What have you got fresh this morning?
Fresh this morning?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've got predominantly at the moment, we've got a bunch of loaves of bread. We've got a special honey nut loaf that we've been working on. It's a bit experimental. We've also got a number of pastries with some fresh fruit in them and that kind of thing. Just more of the breakfast fare. I think if I remember, the dwarf down the back there, you were quite fond of the fish pie. Sorry, we don't make those till the afternoon.
That is fine. Too much fish pie for me.
Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed it at least, sir.
I did. The fish pie was good.
Excellent. Sorry, Miss Halfling, was there something that you wanted?
Well, I'm Miera. I would like one of the honey nut loaves, thank you. And maybe a cookie or 2, if you have some.
Cookies. We haven't actually made any cookies today. We ramp up to that sort of thing in the afternoon a bit more. There's not a huge demand of cookies here in Greenfield, but I can get you one of the loaves. It will cost. It'll be 3 copper pieces.
Okay.
And he turns and bellows out the back, "Sue, get us one of the honey nut loaves." And this voice just bellows back, "All right." And a couple of moments later, Sue, who you also recognize from the night before, emerges with a small bag, which has obviously got the loaf in it. She greets all of you. "Oh, hi, nice to see you again. Who's the loaf for?"
Me, please.
Yep, so passes it over. It's still
Hand
like
over
you can
the coins.
feel it's still warm through the bag.
Oh, I'm gonna hug it.
And she smiles. She's like, "It's always good to see someone who appreciates good food."
I do like to bake.
Oh, really? What
Mhm.
did you what do you enjoy baking?
Well, I come from Sparkletown, and if you know anything about the world, Sparkletown is the place that has the best cookies ever. And my dad and I have the best recipe.
You see, she exchanges a look with her husband, and she says, "I'm awfully sorry, but I've never actually heard of Sparkletown.
What?
But I'm sure that the cookies are lovely. I'm sure that they're wonderful. Are
They're
you?
pretty
Is this? Sorry,
They're pretty good.
they're pretty good. Oh,
They're
that's
pretty good.
well. Look, maybe you can bake some and bring them here, and we can sample them. And
I'll reach into my bag and I'll pull out a sparkle cookie
she's like,
and I'll put it on the countertop and yeah, there you go. You can try one. Tell me
So-
what you think.
there is a race between the husband and 3 small children's hands towards this singular cookie as it gets put on the bench. It's obvious that the husband is fairly used to this though, and he nabs the cookie before the kids get to it. And there's almost this universal from the kids, and he looks at them, just points, just I told you lot, just behave. He bites off a corner of the cookie. So has another bite and he goes, damn.
When he's eating it, he'll notice too, like it's almost like there's like a popping candy kind of thing.
We get run out of town for witchcraft.
He's like,
Start foaming
Sue,
at the
Sue,
mouth.
you've got to try one of these. And he passes sort of the other half to his wife. And she sort of takes it and gives it a look, sort of breaks a corner off and sort of crumbles it. And that very sort of, someone checking what it might be made of and its texture and stuff. And takes a bite. She's like, just like eats the half that she's been given. She's like, oh my God. She's like, Miera, these are absolutely amazing. What's the recipe? Oh, actually, sorry, hold on. That's incredibly rude of me. I professional courtesy, if you don't want to say. But is there some nutmeg in there, I think, at least?
There is a little bit of
There's-
nutmeg.
I can just,
A
there's
little
just
bit.
that. Oh, and what the popping, there's like a weird,
Well,
that's,
that's a family secret. That one I can't tell you.
oh, well, look, I mean, if you ever want to go in business out here, I think we could make a killing off these. So I'm not sure what you're doing in town and what your plans are, but look, I'm happy to talk business later on. Maybe set up, a little bit of sharing, or you could maybe set up your own sort of bakery, sort of as part of subsidiary of ours, and we could talk about shares or
Sure.
look at stock options, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I'll keep you in mind.
That would be wonderful. These, I mean, seriously, these are some of the best cookies that I've ever eaten in my entire life.
I don't lie, so
And you can
I
hear
can
the
tell you
kids
they're
all going,
best.
oh, we missed out on the cookies. It's not fair. And the dad
I'll
turns.
reach into my bag and pull out one more and give it to the kids. You got to share it because I don't have very many.
So you start to hand it to the kids, and the dad just grabs it and goes, right, you 3. It's like, right, winner, Tiberius. He breaks it in half and he gives them each half. And he goes, because you guys haven't actually been too bad this morning. Brian, you've been a little shit. You don't get any cookie. And you can see Brian, who's like the oldest. He's probably about 7 or 8. He's just like, oh, that's not fair. It wasn't my fault that they ran into my arm and then they hurt themselves and stuff. Oh, he stomps off out. And the kids just inhale the cookies. And you can just hear them, oh my God, these are amazing.
Awesome. I'll keep hugging my bread loaf and I'll say, I'll keep you in mind about the cookies, and I'll sort of step off or I'll ask if anyone else wants to get anything while we're here, while hugging my bread loaf.
Have you got any one of the fruit pastries? I don't mind which one. Just surprise me on the flavor, but a fruit pastry, please.
Oh, absolutely. And Sue pops out the back and comes back with essentially it's just like a Danish. And she's like, here it is. It's a blueberry. There's a whole bunch of wild blueberries nearby. Perfect this time of year. That'll be just 1 copper piece for that.
She just slides it across the counter. It's sort of like above her head.
Yeah, just there you go. Thank you very much. Please feel free to come back. And Miera, don't forget about that fantastic business opportunity.
We'll definitely keep you in mind. Thank you.
Excellent. All right, we'll see you next time. And unless there's anything else anyone wants to do in the bakery. Well, so you guys all filter out, and as you sort of leave the building, you can hear the husband, you can hear the wife, Sue, turn. She goes, "Wild, I reckon if we really sit down and think about it, we can probably work out what the ingredients are." So you guys all vanish out the door.
Did I hear that?
Make a perception check.
Were you last out the door? Or were you first out the door?
Perception is not good. 8.
As you sort of hug the loaf of bread, there's the crinkling of the bag, and it kind of between that and whinging kids and everything else. Yeah, no, you don't pick up on the last few words.
Treachery. Okay.
So you guys head off outside and head off out towards the outskirts of town, which is where the House of Peridon would appear to be. Doesn't take you very long. It's only about another 5 minutes past the bakery before you can see it's on a very sort of gentle rise through a small grouping of trees. You can see this very large 2-story building. It is, from this distance, it looks kind of doesn't fit into the town or the village, I should say. This is a very functional small village where all the houses are just that. They've been put there for a sole purpose. Nothing's fancy. This house, from a distance, looks fairly sort of pretentious. There's obviously been a lot more effort put into building it. It's the silver cup amongst all the earthen mugs. And as you get closer, you can see it's got a very large veranda out the front. It's sort of fairly brightly painted. As you get closer, you can see, however, actually it's Grumpfel that can see.
Delgrim can't see anything.
Delgrim can't see much of anything amongst the gum trees.
Delgrim see fine.
Okay, would you say it was a home among some gum trees?
Sure.
A southern marsupial or two.
Yeah, just
Yeah. So you guys need to all roll for initiative as you get attacked by drop bears. You should see.
Crikey, danger!
Yeah. They
Got
get
my eyes.
6 attacks around, breath weapon. That's pretty impressive. As you get closer to this house, Grumpfel, you're the first to sort of notice it.
Right.
You can see that there are parts of the house where the paint is fading or chipped. You can see bits of it which are looking a bit run down. It's not super obvious, but you do have your passive perception's not too bad. So you just sort of notice it as you guys walk towards the front door. It doesn't look terrible. Most people probably wouldn't even notice, but there's just these few things which would suggest that maybe it's been, it's seen better days. Maybe it's not being looked after as well as it should be. You get up to the front door, and again, it's quite sort of pretentious. It's large double doors, sort of bronzed door handle, large knocker on it as well.
How high up is the knocker?
It would be. You would be able to reach it, despite the fact that it is furbolgs. This house would have been built for furbolgs. The people who built it would have understood that the town has a variety of people. So
there's two that are connected to each other.
Yeah. It would be a stretch, but you could still reach it. Yes, the door itself, though, is very high. It's probably like 9 feet high. And as you get closer to the building itself is very, very tall, obviously built for, a larger race of people.
Rowan's going to look at Delgrim and just go, "Are you sure you want to talk to him?"
I am very sure. And Delgrim just ignores the existence of the knocker and just starts kicking the bottom of the door to announce their entrance.
How many times are you going to kick said door?
4.
Four times. Okay. So
We have strange customs down here.
anyone else gonna do anything while Delgrim goes to town on the door?
Like, in a knocking way, not in a
Right.
I'm trying to kick the door
Right,
down
okay,
way.
cool,
Just in a
Roll strength check.
ding, ding, ding.
No, Tiernan's
So
just
crash,
watching.
crash, crash, crash.
Hmm.
Are there any windows that we may be able to spy through?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, not spy, but just like glance through.
Although this is going to be a running theme for this campaign.
Furbog height windows?
Yeah. So
Yep.
you look around, you go, oh, I could look through the windows, and you're like, oh shit. Tiernan could be able to see through them because Tiernan being sort of a taller height wouldn't have an issue. But unfortunately for the rest of you, I don't know, maybe I don't know. 2 halflings and a gnome in a trench coat could see through one or something, but yeah, literally it is that they would be too high for you to be able to see through.
Guess we just wait and see if the kicking brings anyone to the door. Maybe.
Rowan would step back and away from the door if Delgrim was going to insist on kicking it.
Yeah, I'm not standing anywhere near the door. I don't want them thinking it was me.
So after probably about 10 seconds of Delgrim's kicking, this voice echoes from inside. I'll be there in a minute. Another 10 seconds passes, and the door, click, and the door swings open. Standing in front of you is an elderly human woman, fairly straight backed. She's got a small walking cane that she's been using that she uses to help herself get around. Grey hair pulled up in a very tight bun, quite deeply tanned, and you can see both of her hands are quite twisted, and that sort of the nature of hands that are probably deeply affected by arthritis. She's wearing just a very, very simple dress and an apron, and in the other hand you can see she's actually holding a duster, and she sort of looks down at most of the group and then up at Tiernan and says, yes, how can I help you?
I would like to speak to Peridin.
Oh, certainly. Who shall I say is calling?
It is Delgrim. Delgrim Harrowfell and friends.
And friends. Is he expecting you at all, or?
I do not know what Peridin expect. I cannot answer this question.
We met him last night. We were talking at the big... Where are the adventurers for the fireworks?
She sort of squints for. You can see her sort of thinking.
Is this where Peridin resides?
Oh yeah, yes. No, this is where he lives. This is his home. He's in the main living room. I think I remember him saying something about a strange group of people who were going to help. So look, sorry, come in, please. Wipe your shoes before you come in. I've just been cleaning the floors. And she turns and sort of says, "Follow me."
Now, Delgrim, that means the underside of the shoe, not the top side of the shoe. When you wipe it.
Why would you wipe shoe?
For any mud or dirt on the underside of your shoe that we might not take through the house. Just to let you know.
But mud and dirt is everywhere. Why worry if it in-house?
Some people, like to have mud left outside. I mean, you and I are from beneath the earth, and it matters not to us. But those that reside above sometimes prefer mud and dirt and stuff to remain outside.
These are strange people.
Yes, but we are in.
But Delgrim will semi-respectfully wipe his boots nonetheless.
As they go inside, Rowan's gonna elbow Miera and just say, "Did she just call us strange?"
Yeah, I think maybe she did. I don't think we're strange, though.
Well, I don't believe she called us strange. I think she implied that Tolbin called us strange.
Oh.
Right. I don't know that that's better, Tiernan.
Someone out there is thinking we're strange.
So as you have this conversation and follow her through the house, it's a very open, spacious building. However, you can see as you go through, there are spots on like bookcases and small shelves and small tables where there's gaps where you would expect a decoration. You'd expect a vase of flowers. You'd expect some sort of ornament or a statue where there's nothing. The house sort of feels half empty in many respects. The rest of you, except for Tiernan, going off people's passive perceptions, would notice that the inside of the house also seems a little bit run down. A little bit of paint flecking in corners, some wallpaper maybe sort of a bit peeled, windows a bit dirty. You see sort of someone would notice that one of the windows has even got a small crack in the corner. It just looks like a house that is sort of falling into disrepair a little bit.
This looks like a nice house.
Well played, sir. Well played. The elderly woman leads you into a very large, spacious living area. There's a number of long, luxurious couches, some very big, sumptuous chairs positioned around this room. There are various paintings on the wall, although on one wall there's a conspicuous gap, and there's almost that sort of slight discoloring that would suggest that there used to be a painting there, but there's not more. There's a very large, ornate fireplace. And hanging over the fireplace, framed, appears to be a map of some description. Standing in front of the fireplace, you can see Peridin. He is still dressed very well, though not quite as well as he was yesterday. Still a very, very fine tunic and breeches. Doesn't have sort of the same high boots that he wore yesterday, but has still got some very, very fine-looking footwear on. Beside him, you can see an elf. Fairly short, probably 5'2"-ish. Although I guess with this party, short is relative. He's short for an elf.
Yeah, I was just saying, 2 foot taller than Rowan.
Yeah, exactly. Slightly, quite chubby for an elf. With blonde hair, very, very thin lips. He's just wearing a very simple white shirt and breeches, and you can see around his neck he's got a measuring tape. Beside Peridin, you can see a bugbear. And Tiernan, you recognize it as the bugbear that you first encountered when you first came into town. And they appear to be having a conversation. And as you walk in, you can hear Peridin saying, this whole fed up with this town. I cannot wait to get out of this place. The way the people here treat me, it's just so disrespectful. And as he says that, he hears you all enter and stops and sort of turns around and looks sort of and goes, welcome friends. How can I help you today? Heta, you didn't tell me that people were coming today. And the elderly woman says, well, I mean, I'm sorry, sir. They seem like nice enough. I just thought, let them in. You don't get many visitors these days. And it's nice to actually have people come up here, Peridin. And you can see a slight blush come to his cheeks. And his brow furrows. And she says, that'll be all, Heta. Go and keep doing your jobs. and very sort of dismisses her, essentially.
Being
She just-
inside, again, Delgrim feels comfortable enough to take off his hat, so he'll do that and then kind of walk straight up to Peridon and just interrupt and say,
Which way does Heta go?
So Heta basically turns and just starts to walk back past you guys.
Just as she goes past, Rowan's just going to tap her on the shoulder and say, "Thank you," and just like just to acknowledge her existence.
She sort of looks a bit startled and looks down and gives you just a sort of a very brief smile before sort of glancing backwards at Peridon, and then just keeps on going, clop, clop, with her little walking stick.
I came to apologize for last night. I was unfeeling about your situation. I did not know. I hear last night the people talk. They tell me your parents gone. This is sad. Delgrim, sorry.
Oh, he seems like very caught off guard. Oh, well, thank you. I mean, look, it's fine. I suppose I should be thanking you and your friends that you're going to help out the town. But I do appreciate that. Sorry, what was your name again?
My name Delgrim. It is not fine. Delgrim lost my parent also. I also lost my parent. I know it's sad. But do you not remember our name?
Well, no, I didn't. No, I don't. Sorry, you're Delgrim, and the rest of you. He sort of looks at the rest of the group.
Tiernan de Palan, and it does a slight bow.
Miera Greenleaf. Hi.
Rowan.
And I am Grumpfel Greystone at your service.
Well, nice to meet you all. So is
Again.
well, yes. I mean, again, yes. Delgrim, Tiernan, Miera,
Miera.
Rowan, and Grumpy.
Close
look,
enough.
Okay, excellent. So, I'm sorry. Why are you here?
We come to talk about monster. And firework, but mostly monster.
The cat-like creatures that you've been experiencing difficulty with?
Yes. What about them?
They have been stealing people's sheep. You do nothing.
Well, I mean, I haven't done nothing. I mean, I have tried to send people out there to have a look. Thank you very much, but it's dangerous.
And those people didn't come back, and so you did nothing.
Well, I mean, I tried to. I mean, what would you expect me to do? Go out there myself?
This is a wonderful idea. You come with Tolbin and us to hunt monster.
Make a persuasion check. Roll some dice.
As you say, to that, Rowan would also add, if it is a help, this could be considered a help action, I guess, if you want to take it that way.
Yeah.
An
Remember,
inspiration.
We talked about the fact that respect has to be earned, not just taken.
Absolutely. Roll with advantage.
An inspiration.
Yeah, and what's the inspirations to dig for?
So inspiration actually basically gives you advantage.
Oh, it's disadvantage.
Like,
Right,
double
cool. Double advantage? It's 11.
11.
God.
Yeah. Wow. I think that's probably fairly informed.
Yeah.
He look, this is a small town. There's not many people here who can actually use weapons and swords and stuff like that. And I mean, I sent people out there who I thought were capable, and I mean, Do you want me to leave the town defenseless? And it costs money to hire people. It's. Thought you came here to apologize. And you
For what?
very much sense as sort of as his back getting up.
I
For what?
apologize. I apologize for being rude and insensitive about your situation. About
Yes, but then you come here and be rude again. Now you're
It's
feel like
not
you're
rude. It's
accusing
truthful.
me of not doing things when I've done as much. I mean, there's a whole town of people here. Why don't you go and talk to them and have them go and see what they can do as well? Why are you just accusing me?
I talk to them. They say, you do nothing. And you talk of people not have sword. You have sword. You are one of only people who have sword. Town not unsafe. Sheep unsafe. People in farm unsafe. They want you to protect them. You complain, you whine, you cry. Why no respect? That is why no respect. You not help them. You not look after them. You want respect? You come fight monster with us.
You can see, like, at this stage, he's gone sort of beet red. And the bugbear puts a hand on his shoulder and looks at you, Delgrim, and says, look, I get what you're trying to say, and Peridin here understands what you're trying to say too. But you need to realize that this village doesn't have a whole lot of people who are capable, and as much as Peridin might carry a sword, he's not exactly good with it, and Peridin don't say a word because you see Peridin's mouth. Oh. So we have you and your friends, Delgrim, who have offered to help us, which is greatly appreciated. You're strangers to this town, and you've offered to go and do something which could potentially be very, very risky for you. And we will be in your debt if you manage to deal with these creatures. But Peridin here, it's just, he's a little bit new to this whole situation of trying to lead. And Peridin, just, you know this is true, and you cannot refute that at all. And you sort of see Peridin's shoulders sort of slump a bit, almost like sort of someone almost being told off. So is there something that we can do to help? Or that Peridin here can do to help?
You can give me sword. Peridin not use sword. I take sword. I use sword.
Peridin goes, well, no, hold on. This is my father's sword. He gave it to me when I was young. It's. I'm not going to give you my sword.
Sword is tool. Tool has use. You not use tool for use. You give to someone else.
Perhaps.
Could you borrow it instead of maybe like just taking it outright? Maybe could he borrow your sword?
Can Tiernan step
Just
forward
just for
and
the
say something?
just for the job.
So okay, so before Tiernan pops forward, Miera, I'd like you to make a persuasion roll at this point in time.
Well,
12. Peridin just looks indignant. He's just like, I'm not going to lend you my sword. I can look at you. You're bristling with weapons. There's maces and hammer, all sorts of stuff. You don't need my sword. This is becoming ridiculous.
fine. Sorry.
May I make a suggestion? Clearly, being the noble of the town, you can direct townsfolk to assist us. I believe there was a Tolban who knows of the various lands around here, or perhaps you have another woods folk, is that scouts? Well, I'm not too sure what they call them. Who could assist us in locating these monsters or something, or at least point us in the right direction, at least.
Posture check, everyone. It's up. Ugh. Still in somewhat of a huff. The bugbear sort of, again, you can see just sort of gently sort of squeezes Peridon's shoulder and that, just ease back there, buddy. And Peridon says, I mean, Tolbin might help. I mean, that's up to Tolbin. I'm not even sure where he is at the moment. But I suppose, I mean, what sort of help do you want from someone? Are you wanting a guide, or are you wanting?
Yes, a guide. Guide would be helpful, wouldn't it?
Tolbin was first-hand witness and last victim of monster. Tolbin will come. I say this last night.
But as the Baron, you can order him, yeah?
He says, I mean, maybe I don't. He's looking quite uncomfortable at this stage, like openly uncomfortable.
Looks to me like you don't think you can order anyone to do anything.
Order your sword.
No, I can't use your sword. I'm not proficient with use of swords. I've never needed one in my life. But I would suggest that either you spend some time getting proficient with your father's sword, or you give it to someone who can use it to defend your town.
Rolling dice is fun. Make another persuasion roll for me. This time yeah,
I was
Rowan.
hoping that was intimidation.
Well, if you want it to be intimidation, look, absolutely. I'll let you pick.
And I love that that's the intimidation and Delgrim's was the persuasion.
Yeah, like,
that's the best.
Feel free, if I make a call like that and you want it and you feel that it could be something else, absolutely feel free to request and we can have a conversation.
I will say it doesn't matter, so it'll be the same modifier anyway.
Okay.
Well, that is a nat 1, except for the fact that I'm a halfling, so it's not a nat 1.
Oh,
Yay, halflings!
Halflings.
Best race ever.
So that is a 19 plus 3, please and thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You watch as a man assaulted from every angle by arguments from this collection of individuals standing in front of him.
She, to be clear, is not saying that he needs to give her the sword. What she's saying is like, do something.
Learn to use it or give it up.
Give it up, yeah.
And between the sort of the various barrages from the party members and this bugbear beside him, sort of trying to sort of talk him down a little bit, you see his already sort of stooped frame, sort of the shoulders drop into feet a little bit more, and he's like, well, I mean, look, I'm not going to give my sword away because it's my father's sword and it was one of the last things he gave me before he passed away. Mm-hmm. So, look, can one of you maybe show me how to use it or something? Because there's nobody here in this village who can. I'm not going to give it away, but maybe one of you can. I'm not going to come out into the wilderness with you because obviously I'm not good enough. But maybe one of you can show me how to use it, at least a little bit.
I can show you some sword. It's not hard. It's sword. You stab, you slice. It's not difficult.
My Lord Peridon, I believe that is the best thing you have said in your step towards being the overseer of these lands. I would like to say that you have made a good first step. Grumpfel trying to, be like attack. Everyone's here. Like maybe we'll just give him a little pad to the ego there, and maybe that'll nudge him into the direction we're trying to get him into. Do you need a persuasive or anything like that, or that's enough for the moment?
No. So firstly, shout out to Jordan, dude. Thank you for the 5 subs. That is awesome. we are 999,995 subs away from the next terrible location name. So, yeah.
Someone learned their lesson.
'Cause
You can claim that on the bingo chat.
I've learnt my lesson. Okay. So with Grumpfel saying that, you see Peridin straighten. And some of the blush sort of slowly flushes from his cheeks. And he says, well, thank you, Grumpy. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words. It's very hard trying to be the Baron of a town like this. People don't always appreciate how difficult it is. You know, I'm trying to do the best that I can, and I mean, it's such a small town. I just don't think I'm suited for this place. But look, if what was it, Delgrim, if you would give me some lessons, that would be wonderful. I can look, Glacian, and he turns to the bugbear. Can you try and find Tolbin and tell him, ask him, maybe just ask him, if he could please, where would you like to meet him? Just on the outskirts of town, there's a road heading out to the east. I can ask him to meet you there.
Sounds good.
We want east, or Miera, would we like to check north first? For...
No, I think let's go east first.
If we're going to find fireworks, we'll have to come back to town anyway. So
we go
We
east.
can do both.
Very well. Well, Glacian, why don't you go and try and find Tolbin and get him to meet Delgrim and Grumpy and the rest of them here at the Eastern Road in about, say, 1 hour.
Sounds good to me.
Wonderful. Delgrim, when would you like to do this lesson thing?
I have 1 hour in which I do nothing. We can do lesson now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not really sort of dressed for it. Can you give me a moment? I'll go and get changed into something which is more appropriate.
Yeah, you not always have time to change when you need to use sword. You use sword now.
Well, yes, but I mean, this is one of my better tunics, and I don't want to get anything on it. It's quite expensive.
Lesson number 1 is when you have to use sword, you don't get hit.
But I'm not very good with it, so I'm still. I need to be 5 minutes. I'd be 3 minutes. And just wait there. I'll be back. And he's backing away. I'll be right. And he turns and off out a side door, leaving Glacian and the elf sort of both standing there, sort of looking at each other awkwardly.
Glacian, what is your deal?
Just moving on to the next person.
I need. This is where I wish I could use like GIFs, because I need one of like a freight train just running through everything.
With Delgrim written across the front.
Yeah. He sort of looks down at you with a bit of a slight smirk. And he says, look, I've been a mate of Peridin since we were kids. And he sort of looks at the elf and he goes, look, between you and me, he's not suited for this whole Baron thing. He's the only child. His folks passed away just over a year ago. Yeah. He's just not ready for it. And the elf then sort of almost under his voice sort of says, well, he's not around half the time anyway, so.
This is what I hear. This is what people tell me. He go to Deep Cove to play friend with other important people.
Glacian nods and says, yes, he has been spending more and more time in Deep Cove trying to win his way in with the favors of some of the great houses there.
Did his parents not prepare him appropriately?
He's an only child. They loved him dearly. He was coddled. He's always been overly sensitive. Not even sure that's really the right sort of phrasing for it. He's been picked on most of his life. I'm the only real friend that he's got, and I've done whatever I can to try and stick up for him. But he feels that, I mean, he inherited everything from his parents when they passed. He feels that this village is beneath him. This whole role of being the Baron is beneath him.
So you are reason he thinks this, and he is weak.
No. I mean, I've done everything I can to try and convince him otherwise, but he's...
That was not the question. You defend him, you stick up for him, you stand in the way of him knowing who he truly is. This is your fault.
Rowan's going to put her hand on Delgrim, just in a, stop enough now type energy.
Look, I know that sometimes I might give him a pass, but we've been friends forever, and if I wasn't here, to be honest, someone probably would have stabbed him long ago. He's rarely in town anyway. Most of the time he's off in Deep Cove. I don't even know what he does there. But there's only so much I can... Sorry?
You're not with him when he go to Deep Cove?
No, I've got no interest. I've been once or twice, and that place is not me. He wants to try and play lords and ladies. He's doing everything he can to try and, get in with, like I said, with some of these great houses. He thinks that he's got a shot with, some of the ladies there, and he's going to marry into nobility and all of this stuff. There's only so much I can do. And so I do what I can to try and stop him, but at the end of the day, he's his own man. Very much like you, sir.
Who look after town if he not come back from Deep Cove?
Look, to be honest, most of the time Wex and Priscilla look after the town anyway. I mean, Peridin just more plays Baron than anything else. His family's been the money here for generations. But I mean, even that's dried up. I don't know where he's spending half of his cash these days. But look, anyway, he's going to be back very soon. Look, going to be blunt. You're a very blunt man. Right now, being blunt to Peridin is not going to help at all. Right now, we need to try and work out what's going on with these fireworks, because it's one of the few things that this town actually really enjoys. If you can find those, or if you can deal with these creatures, come back, then maybe we can have another conversation and we can see what we can do about my friend here. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
That sounds like a very good idea, because I think this young lordling does need, whilst wants to play lord, I think he needs a few lessons in leading and listening.
Yeah, more than a few, Grumpfel, he says. At that moment, the side door opens, and Peridin comes striding through. Different tunic this time. He's got like a leather vest on with these very ornate silver buttons, knee-high black shined boots. The scabbard, the sword is now at his side. The scabbard is very ornate, like golden inlay. He's wearing, it's not quite as magnificent a hat as what Delgrim has, but he's got sort of a bigger floppy hat. So think of the old swashbuckler hats, and it's got a
He's gone
feather
full
in it.
Three Musketeers.
Pretty much, yeah. And he strides into the room and almost sort of strikes a semi-pose, and he goes, "All right, I'm ready for my training."
I am glad and a little surprised you came back. This is good.
Well,
Are you ready? Are you ready for lesson?
I am. Is it gonna hurt?
Many lessons in life do. Yes.
Good answer.
Perhaps,
Yeah.
folks, you should take this outside.
Oh, no, we're not going to do this inside. We'll end up breaking something. So, all right. So Peridin starts to head outside. Who's going to go? Who's heading off with him? So let me rephrase.
Delgrim will have to, and we'll read on the hat then, I guess.
Rowan's actually going to head towards, because it's going to take her a while to get there, to the outskirts of town where Tolban is supposed to meet them.
Yep. Okay.
Figuring that Delgrim will find them there.
Yep.
Afterwards.
Yeah, I don't want to watch this. I'm afraid he's going to be hurting.
Grumpfel will actually wait around and see how this goes.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what happens.
Cool. Tiernan and Rowan going for a walk.
Yeah, okay.
Nope.
All right. So you guys head off towards the eastern road out of town. But the rest of you guys head. Glacian also heads off to go and find Tolban. As you all head outside, you go past Heta, and she's sort of like, "Oh, what's going on?" Peridin says, "This young Delgrim's going to teach me how to use my sword." And she says, "Okay, I'll just go and get some bandages." And she turns around and walks back through the house, and you sort of see Peridin sort of like glance back and sort of and looks across to you, Grumpfel, and says, "Grumpy, why do I need bandages? Is this really going to hurt that?" She's being silly, isn't she? She's not being sensible. Delgrim, she's not being sensible. This will be okay, won't it?
You probably will not need bandage. There's no real point in bandaging bruise.
If life has taught me anything can happen, and must be prepared for that eventuality.
Miera's just going to be quietly starting to chant, "Fight, fight, fight, fight."
Peridin sort of shoots her a look. No, it's training. It's not fighting.
Just practice fighting. Fight.
You are very bloodthirsty, friend Miera. He is technically right. First there is training before there is fighting. I cannot just hit him with my stick without no warning. That is not kind.
I am quite concerned about this. I'm So you guys get outside and head around the back towards where there's a large tree.
We're good. Keep going. Ignore us.
Yeah. So as they get around the back, as they get around the back, fuck, this is going to get really difficult now. For those of you who so people are goddamn, I hate you guys so much.
So you guys get
bingo.
around.
Yep. So
I
missed it entirely.
People playing bingo can mark off the one about saying something.
Fuck you guys.
No, it's I hate you all. It's I hate you all.
Sorry. I hate you all so much. So, because the problem now is, of course, okay, so you guys get around the back. Now, question for you guys. Did you want to play this out a little bit? Did you want to just sort of, go, sweet, this happens, let's move on? Up to you guys.
How badly do you want Peridin to be hurt? So my thinking is there'd be a genuine... Yeah, there'd be a genuine, all right, this is how you need to hold the sword, like, stance type part of the equation, but then there would be sparring of some kind for sure.
Okay. All right. So okay. he would be very open to the whole, like, being shown how to hold his sword as he pulls it out. And would watch as Delgrim shows him how to grip it appropriately. Adjusting things as required, making sure he's standing the right way. Is there anything in particular Delgrim's going to do to help him out?
Look, Delgrim might at some point over the course of this instruction have to take Peridon's hand and just readjust it and make sure he's gripping him properly.
Oh my god. Oh.
Okay.
You guys started this.
Actually, technically,
He's
you
absolutely
both
right.
started this.
As an interlude, Grumpfel comes up to Peridon and clasping the holy symbol around his neck and puts one hand up and says, "May your time and duty be long and blessed."
He sort of glances down and says, "Well, thank you, Grumpy." So,
and I, hang on a second. Oh no, that doesn't work. I thought I had guidance. I have resistance. I have resistance, which is not going to really help.
That's the sentiment that counts.
I thought I had guidance. I don't have resistance.
It's beautiful. So
he's not going to need a saving throw, is he?
So once you've sort of gone through the basics, there is some sparring. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it best of 3. We'll make it an attack roll. So Delgrim, we're each going to make an attack roll, and it's essentially going to be like a almost like a grapple check. So it's going to be like a contested roll. To see whether or not you potentially inadvertently hurt him. Because is Delgrim holding back, or?
Well, he's only going to use the quarterstaff, so he's not going to use anything.
Okay.
Like
he's not going to like gut him or anything like that.
Likely, yeah, not intentionally.
Right. Okay, but he's still hard enough to do a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to help him. Delgrim's trying to help him grow into into a better person.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So the first round of sparring starts. So I'd like you to please make an attack roll. I'll make one for our friend Peridon.
Sure. We're playing chicken on who's saying it first.
Yeah, no, you go.
Nat 20, 24.
Maybe I do need that resistance spell for a saving throw.
He gets into the stance that you suggested, and you literally tell him the first thing that you're going to do. I'm going to strike low. And as you swing the staff, like he's got the reflexes of a limp mop. A sword doesn't even like it comes down partway for the parry, and it's slow. There's no strength behind it, and you just smash the staff into like his shins, and he lets out like this massive squawk of pain. It just sort of starts hopping around and he goes, "Oh God, that was lots harder than I thought it was going to be. I
told you I hit. You need to not allow me to hit, or you take that pain and that rage and you use it for your next hit. Use it."
Oh, what do you mean use it? I can't stand on my leg. Oh, this really hurts.
Don't think about the leg. Think about how frustrating it is that you hit and turn that inside and then put it into your hand, into a sword, and use that for your next attack.
Okay, all right. And he sort of takes like a wild swing at you. So make another roll.
Yeah, 14.
14. Okay. This time, you easily bet his sword away. and counterattack, swinging the staff sort of right at his abdomen. And he awkwardly manages to parry it, not in any particularly efficient way that would allow any sort of counterattack or anything like that, but he at least stops the blow. And he's still sort of hopping slightly one leg. He's like, "Oh, hey,
Nicely
did it.
done. Well done.
Hey.
This is good. You are less dead than you were before. This is very good.
All right, okay." So for brevity's sake, you guys spend half an hour going backwards and forwards. The majority of the time, he displays a remarkable ineptitude for using a sword. It's a long sword. He lacks the strength or the endurance to really use it properly. After the first 5 minutes, he's breathing heavily. And as you sort of put him through his paces, you see him sort of slowing down very, very quickly.
You seem ready to finish.
He's heavy breathing. He's like, "Well, I mean, how long am I meant to go for?"
Well, we have friend to catch and adventure to have. It's not much longer, but you will do this every day.
So you're going to
Until
come here
you-
every day, but I thought you were going to. No.
I will not come here. You are going to find people to train you.
Well, like who?
You are a big baron with resources who go to Deep Cove all the time. You can find someone to help.
Oh,
You think those fancy Deep Cove ladies going to like you if you don't know how sword work?
oh, actually, that's quite a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, that's a good point. Lady Transon's really. I know she likes one of the other nobles. He's really good with like one of those, the really like skinny, sharp swords. The ones that you just sort of poke people with all the time.
Yes, they are not my favorite.
Okay. And so with that, you spend a little bit more time sparring before he finally sort of calls it a day. Like he's just his sweat pouring off him. He's absolutely shattered. He can hardly lift the tip of his sword at all. And so I think with that, as you guys finish your little spar, this is probably a great time for us to take a break. As we then
That's a very good idea, Hamish.
head back due to the world's just what a bunch of deviants.
You guys started it. We just.
Wait, we actually left.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why is all this
Rowan
giggling?
We left.
It's quite a shame because I was going to have Delgrim encourage Tiernan to teach.
Spar with.
Yeah, that would be magnificent.
So
Break,
let's
you say?
let's have a break for 5 or 10 minutes. While the group
Resets.
resets its maturity level.
Grows up.
Well,
It's okay. We're not going back to a swordplay session, so it'll be fine.
Hmm.
Someone has already gotten bingo, by the way, on the
sweet
Impossible.
damn, that's awesome.
the bingo card. The ones they ticked off were. I'm trying to work out when the pet rock reference was, because I don't know
think-
that that's
I don't
true.
think it was.
It was in chat. They would
In
have
chat.
taken it from in chat. Don't know if that
see,
counts.
that's
We haven't established clear rules. There's
Chat.
nothing discounting the use of that. Nothing.
yeah. Look, I think we need to maybe have a session about how we police this.
A new
I mean, after
Ollie,
all-
I'm not willing to accept that any pet rock reference has been made. It is my pet rock after all.
Yeah.
I cannot.
And I mean, look, to be fair, there is a car on the line for this whole thing, so we need to make sure we're very diligent about how we manage this. So we're going to have a break, and we'll figure out how we'll deal with it. And when we come back in 10 minutes, we probably still won't have made up our minds, but we'll keep playing the game anyway.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. We'll see everyone in 10 minutes then. and I promise we'll be more sensible.
Oh.
3.
All right.
2.
Cool. Oh, hey, hi. All right.
Hey, hi.
Let us jump back into things. So, heading over to the eastern road out of town, we have Rowan, and it was Tiernan as well, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
The biggest and the smallest.
Yep, absolutely. So, the road out of town to the east, it's fairly well worn. It's not cobbled or anything like that, but it's a well trodden dirt road. And you guys spend, I don't know, you're probably there for 45 minutes at least before you see walking from out of town, or from in town, sorry, the figure of Tolbin. Just as a reminder, he's quite tall. He's just over 6 foot. He's got a very youthful look to his face, which is sort of accentuated by the red, ruddy cheeks and very reddish brown sort of mop of hair, and a thick sprinkling of freckles all over his face. Very solid build, and you can see that at his hip he's got a long sword. You can see sort of the edge of a shield poking up over his back, and he's got some sort of well-worn leather armor. As opposed to the day before, he is all clean. There is no blood, no dirt and grime all over him. He, in fact, looks to be in pretty good sort of nick. He sees the two of you as he comes striding over and sort of frowns slightly and says, "Oh, thought there was going to be more of you."
They're coming. They're dealing with Peregrine.
All
I
right.
believe they're training Peregrine.
Peregrine. Yeah,
Peregrine?
What?
Peregrine.
Training him? What? Do.
Do 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 do.
Yeah, I think we are.
Okay.
Your,
we're back.
your call is
Tech issues.
Fine.
Your
your
call
call
has-
is your call is important to us. Please hold.
Please hold the line while we reconnect your call.
So as Rowan, as you look down at the body of Tiernan on the ground, you wonder how this could have happened. So no.
Damn
I
snipers.
believe that they were trying to teach him how to use his father's sword so that it doesn't just sit around gathering dust and maybe he could use it once in a while.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Look, just to be clear, I'll take you guys out to where this attack happened, and that's all I'm doing. Once we've done that, I'm coming back to town.
You may find that difficult to convince other members of the party.
I don't really care if I can convince them or not. That's what I'm doing.
If you don't mind me asking, what do the creatures actually look like?
Big, black, like giant cats.
Taller than yourself?
No, probably bigger than a big wolf, smaller than a horse.
Standing on 2 legs or 4?
No, 4, like a cat does. Actually, it's kind of strange. The face of them is a bit. There's something vaguely sort of person-like about the face. I only caught a glimpse of it, but it is kind of strange. I don't know. I've never heard of this sort of thing before. I mean, out in this neck of the woods, you've got wolves and that sort of stuff, but creatures like that, I don't know. It's weird.
So was it a pack of them, or was it an isolated
Alright.
animal? Or...
I think I saw 2, but I mean, I don't know. They looked similar. They could have just been one of them. It was weird. I don't know. All I know is that I'll take you out to where we got attacked. Then I'm coming back to town. Don't get paid enough to go and risk my neck trying to take those things on again.
All I'm saying is if you're going out to where you got attacked and then you're happy to come back all by yourself and not know what's going to happen on the road on your way back. I mean, that's your choice. But I'd have thought staying with the rest of the group and having some people to help defend you might be a better choice.
Right. So there were 6 of us.
Total.
Yeah. Now there were 6 of us who were on the wagon.
Right.
I'm the only one who came back. You guys want to go out there and risk your neck trying to save a bunch of stupid fireworks? Whatever. But I'm just doing this as a favor to Peridin. And then once that's over, done. I'm out of here.
Oh, it's more than just the fireworks, isn't it? I was under the impression that they were attacking livestock.
Yeah, but
People.
all he wants is to get the fireworks back. I mean, if you guys want to kill the things at the same time, whatever.
Well, my understanding is once they start on the livestock, they'll just start amping themselves up. What's to say humans aren't next?
Yeah, true. Not my problem, though. I don't live here.
You don't live here. I thought you lived in these parts.
No. I'm just hired sword. Anyway, this isn't about me. I've been hired for a job. This is the last part of it. Like I said, it's pretty much a favor of Peridin. I'm done. How long are your friends going to be?
Can't speak to that. Depends on how much tending to Peridin needs after Delgrim's done with him.
Yeah, well, thinking about how soft Peridin is, he's probably going to need a shit ton of tending to. He goes over and sort of like there's a small wooden fence, and he just sort of sits sort of on one of the wooden beams of it, and pulls out just a water flask and just takes a sip.
Well, Rowan's gonna go over and like she did to Delgrim yesterday, just like plonk next to him.
Yeah, he kind of looks awkwardly there.
I was just curious. If you're not from here, but you're a hired sword, you can't be from far away. So where are you from? We've got to kill some time after all.
What do you want to know?
I'm just curious. I like to know the people I'm adventuring out with.
Make a persuasion roll.
Is 8 plus 3? 11.
From roundabout. Do odd jobs all over the place in Alamar. That's all you need to know.
Oh, I was more meaning, did you come from one of the local villages, or are you from further afield? Just because I'm not from that far away, so I just was curious, that's all.
Why? Where are you from?
Just up the way. Riverview.
Riverview. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've heard of there.
From the information that he provided on the creatures, would I be able to determine what it was?
You can, if you wish, make either a based on that description, try an Arcana roll.
Arcana. $23. 18.
20. Sorry, 23.
23, yeah.
You recall seeing probably a couple of years back now a very, very old text in one of the libraries in Cathar Baal that talked about Telrith, which is a nation off to the northeast, which is where the Fae reside in Paldorn. And you have a vague recollection of some kind of reference to a large cat-like creature with human-type features. You don't really remember much beyond that. It sort of sticks in your mind because, who's ever heard of a giant cat with like a face like a person? It's weird. But that's all you can really sort of remember. But it did suggest that, there is maybe some fey element to this thing. Nice roll, by the way.
First roll for me.
Mm.
Would I be able to reproduce a drawing of it?
Sorry?
Would I be able to reproduce a drawing of it?
Probably not. No, like this is like a very sort of distant memory of like, you know, you can sort of recall that vague association. But anything beyond that, there wasn't a picture or anything like that. It was just that sort of reference and description.
Cool, fair enough.
Holborn at this stage is just sitting there, sort of ignoring the dead air that sits between him and Rowan as she sort of left that last question hanging for a moment. Just sort of staring out into space.
Well, I mean, is there a reason that you're doing a favor for someone who it sounds like you don't particularly like? Because if you're just a hired sword, you don't do people favors. You do things for money.
Maybe favor was the wrong word. He paid me. Jobs,
You said
maybe.
favor lots of times, though. You
I
didn't
did.
just say favor once.
You're kind of annoying. You do this sort of thing a lot.
Well,
Ask
I'm
lots of
just
questions.
yes. I'm curious. Is there a problem with that? I like people. They're interesting.
That's great. Where I come from, people who are too curious often end up dead.
Oh, remind me where that is. Just so that I make sure just so that I make sure I never go there, because if I'm a curious.
Yeah.
Technical
Okay,
difficulties.
we're back. Hello. And as the dragon flies away with Rowan in its jaws, Tiernan regrets all of his life. No.
Oh, poor Tiernan.
All right. I'm not sure what people missed. So yeah. So with your cheeky approach to this conversation, it does elicit a slight smile from Tolbin. He goes, I'm still not saying.
You're a very
It's-
closed person.
Yeah, it's how I've stayed alive.
What, you think I'm a threat? She at 3'4", standing next to him, being over 6 foot.
He looks her up and down and he goes,
Not down and down.
down, yeah, looks at her down and down. Gets down sort of onto all fours. No,
Lost Hamish.
don't still here?
Yeah.
Don't underestimate your kind,
My kind. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
halflings.
You think I'm some sort of little threat?
I don't know. You're either incredibly stupid to want to go and run off into the middle of nowhere and try and fight some giant cats, or find some giant cats. I don't know if you're going to fight them or not. I don't know if you're that stupid. But, you know, if you are, then it would suggest at some level you've got some kind of skills or talents. Like I said, I've seen some strange things, and no, not going to tell you what those strange things are or where I've seen them.
I'm just curious because I got really bored living in teeny tiny town, and now I'm out of that teeny tiny town, and I just want to know more about the world. And you seem like a person who knows a lot of things about the big bad world. And I was just trying to ask some questions so I make sure I don't go somewhere where a little halfling like me is going to get squished. That's all.
Well, look,
Just for my safety more than anything.
I'll give you a little advice then. Just be careful who you ask questions of, because there are going to be people in some places, bigger towns, big cities, who aren't going to take kindly to this sort of line of questioning. And the next thing you know, a little halfling like you is going to end up dead. I mean, you seem kind of sort of nice enough. So that's my advice to you. He pulls out like a little piece of jerky from like a pouch and starts sort of chewing on a corner.
Advice is nice, but knowledge is better.
Sure.
They might even say it's power.
Sure, you might. Okay. I'm not sure what your point is, though.
Well, I just wanted to know the places that you know that I shouldn't go. Or the places that you know where if I talked and said the wrong thing that, that I might get squished.
He looks over at Tiernan and goes, well, does she actually stop asking questions at any point?
Tiernan snaps out of revelry. I'm like, what?
No, look, don't worry about it. Rowan, make a persuasion check for me.
18 plus 3 is 21.
Look, you seem kind of nice. Here's a piece of advice for you. If you go to Harrow, it's off to the east, don't go to the Rat's Nest.
Don't go to the rats. Okay.
Why?
Why?
Because that's where people like me and the people that I hang out with tend to be. And that's often where people end up dying if they ask too many questions. Can I get you to make a history check for me, please?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, 17 minus 1 is 16.
Yeah. Okay. That is actually enough. So you know of the township of Harrow because Harrow is actually not terribly far from Riverview. Harrow is one of the larger towns in this neck of the woods. It's probably about 4 days east from Greenfield, from 4 or 5 days east.
Yeah.
And you probably would have heard enough over the years to know that the Rat's Nest is essentially like the slums of that part of Harrow. Harrow's not a huge town. Well, it's decent size, but the few times that your parents had gone there or any friends had gone there, the biggest piece of advice was you do not go to the Rat's Nest. That is where people vanish. It's a dodgy, shady, terrible part of town.
So are these two just sitting on the
Sitting on the fence. Yep.
Or
Big
leaning
fence.
on the fence in Rowan's case because she's not sitting on it.
Tiernan would, once he's been snapped down his revelry, would walk over and just sit on the fence as well and just start tinkering with one of his gadgets.
Yep. Okay.
If he's doing maintenance and whatnot.
Yep. No. Cool.
Did you get that, Tiernan? We don't go to the rat's nest or I'm going to get squished.
Where's the rat's nest?
Harrow.
Where's Harrow?
East. About 4 days.
Okay. Is it Harrow's nest? Harrow? Is it a big place?
Bigger than home. Bigger than here.
By
I
how
don't know
much?
what you count as big. I'm small, remember, so big's relative.
Okay, well, in retrospect with Greenfields, would you say it's double the size, triple the size?
Not been there myself, but
She thinks back. What would people I know have said about it in comparison to to Riverview's size? Because Riverview and
So comparatively speaking, Harrow was the big smoke.
Yeah.
So the only place that people would conceive of as being bigger than Harrow would have been Deepcote.
Right.
And you would know that Deepcote is probably one of the biggest cities on the entire West Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the biggest of the big places, but it's definitely not a small town. As I say, big's kind of relative when you're small. So
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, I do know of Deep Cove. How big is
Smaller
it?
than that. That I know.
Ah,
Smaller than
okay.
that. But
Okay.
still not big. Like, still
Mhm.
not small, but smaller than. Yeah. It's complicated. Size is hard to explain unless you have the same points of reference, and we just don't. Yet.
Couldn't say it better myself.
Tolban's just sitting there chewing on a piece of jerky, sort of watching you two. About that time, you see coming down the road the rest of your companions who have left Peridin and Co. back at his home for him to bandage up the various bruises and scrapes that Delgrim has given him. Delgrim has given him.
I was just about to say hat on.
Yeah. Has given him over their little training session. When you leave, he's sore and whingy, but he does seem sort of somewhat grateful for the experience. So yeah. All right, but you guys approach and you can see Tolban leaning against the fence with Rowan beside him, and Tiernan tinkering away with various parts of with some of his gadgets and stuff.
Rowan is probably like that bit too close. Like you would notice that's that noticeable thing of someone who is taking up someone else's personal space.
Yeah.
Too close to who?
Too close to Tolman.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Here they come.
Oh, about
And she
time.
starts like doing that waving thing of trying to get someone's attention. But they're the only people there. Also, hydrate from the chat.
I just did. I'll do it more. Woo woo.
Thank you,
Tolban glances over and sort of sees the rest of you guys coming along. Rips off one last piece of the jerky and sticks it back into a belt pouch. Closes it and sort of eases himself off the fence with a groan. And goes, well, mid-morning. Take us a couple of days to get to where we got hit by these things. We double time it. We can probably get there in a day and a half. If you guys are up for it, that is.
Works for me.
What about the rest of you lot?
I am a little bit tired now, but yeah, double time. I will try.
All right. And the rest of you lot? Can you keep up?
Yeah,
Well,
sure. When did you want to leave?
Like now?
Okay. Can we go and do we need to pick up our rations just from the inn? Won't we getting something
Yeah.
aside?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd probably suggest we go back and pick up the rations if we're going to be a day and a half travel, maybe.
would
Take some
would
stuff,
the
yes.
would the direction from Peridin to where we are now take us through the town to pick up said? No, okay.
No. But I mean, Greenfield's small. It's like a 5-10 minute walk back to the inn to grab the stuff. So 20 minutes round trip, not too painful.
Right, well, I guess one of us will pop off and come back right back.
All right. So
Can I suggest it's Tiernan that does because the leg length will make that a fast journey?
Yeah, Tiernan can pop off.
Well, if I actually thought I'd already grabbing it, Tiernan would probably have wandered off while he was waiting and come straight back.
So again, for brevity's sake, so when you pick up the rations, there are 5 perfectly packaged bundles in sort of that sort of butcher paper and string, all tied up very neatly. There's a couple of small pouches that are filled with like nuts and dried fruit, almost like trail mix, and it's this perfectly set up little sort of set of rations for each of you, which when Nissa presents them, seems quite proud. And with Tiernan being the one who's gone back, she's like, so this is what you do. This is how you organize food so you don't put it in your pocket. This will help it last longer. keeps it safe from, the environment and stuff like that. So you put that in a pack or a pouch or whatever you've got. Make sure you give it to the rest of your friends as well, and it'll last longer. Don't listen to your other friend about putting stuff in pockets. That's not a great idea.
Tiernan is very observant and takes it all in.
Awesome. So you package all that up, return back to the group, pass out the supplies. The whole time, Tolbin is sort of waiting somewhat impatiently. And you can see he is eyeballing the entire group. You would notice, because he's very open about this sort of stuff, seems quite focused on Delgrim. And Delgrim, for you, that would be very obvious as well.
It's unsurprising. Delgrim's a good-looking dude,
It's the hat, man.
Yeah, it's probably the hat.
When Tiernan goes to give Rowan her share, she's just gonna push it back to him. She doesn't need it. He can have hers.
Cool. All right. Once Tiernan gets back, Tolbin just kind of goes, all right, let's get going while there's still, we can get a decent amount of travel in today. And he turns off and sets a very brisk pace down the road. For all intents and purposes, that the speed at which he's traveling is deemed quick, which means that if my memory serves me correctly, because I don't have it in front of me right now, things like perception checks, I think it's a disadvantage.
Is he going to be traveling with a 30-foot walking speed? Because if he is going to leave some of us behind.
So for the sake of traveling long distances.
But more, if he's going to speed off without us, he is going to leave some of us behind. Even if it was over long distances, he would be leaving some of us behind.
He will. He adjusts after a while, realizing that 80% of the party has got short legs, and will slow down a little bit, but not too much. It is a bit of a struggle to keep up. So you guys will be traveling for the rest of the day. Is there anything in particular anyone wants to do over the course of that period of time?
Keep up, mainly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's a rushy rush.
As Rowan's sort of rushing along, can she grab any sort of the equivalent of bits of food and things along the way that she would need? Because she's given up her ration pack to Tiernan, but background means that I can just kind of do that.
Yeah, look,
I would think.
What I'm going to do is, because of the pace that you're going at, it's just that little bit harder to kind of keep an eye out for stuff.
Oh yeah.
So if you could
the odd berry bush, I'm like, oh, yoink, and just take bits along the way. Nothing. I'm not meaning stopping and anything significant.
Make a is it survival? I think is what I'm after.
It can be.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds about right. Make a survival roll for me.
That's a nat 1, except it's not. That is a 16 plus 3. It's 19.
So as you're wandering along, you're sort of frantically trying to sort of keep an eye out for stuff. You see what appears to be a small bush off to one side, and it looks like blueberries. Oh, gosh, that's awesome. And you go to step, and as you go off the side of the road, get this really weird feeling in your pocket. The sort of it's almost a sense of, for the love of everything under the face of the sun, do not step there. And so your foot stops, and you look down, and you can see that there's a little long grass, and there's actually this really deep, looks like actually like a rabbit hole or something. But
Mhm.
if your head have gone into it, it's the sort of thing where you put your foot into it and your ankle goes. And as you sort of look and you go, oh shit, and you glance over, and the bush that you thought was blueberries wasn't, but just tucked behind it, you can actually see, sort of in some long grass, there is another big bunch of them.
Yeah.
Which you're able to go and just get like a whole crap ton of them.
Just a couple of handfuls, and then sort of races to catch back
One to
up
catch
with
back
the
up.
rest of the
Yep.
group. Yeah.
Cool, awesome.
Tiernan would probably be keeping an eye on the horizon, in particular, any sort of mountain ranges he sees, and just try to fix the locations in his mind.
Yep. Yeah, look, from where you are, yeah, there's nothing. It's nothing in the sort of the immediate distance. It's fairly flat countryside, but as you get towards the end of the day, it is sort of becoming sort of that rolling countryside. And there's no distinctive mountain ranges that you can see at this point in time.
Okay.
Eventually, twilight falls, and Tolbin comes to a stop, and just turns and just says, "Right, we'll stop here." And just walks off the track, and you can see he's just off starting to collect some firewood and stuff, completely not paying attention to you guys.
If I may, based on Rowan's example earlier, Grumpfel will actually have a little look around, but more anything that may be either medicinal or nutritional, as in the way of looking for any herbs that could be used in to put into his healer's kit, or something that we can throw on food when we make camp. Yeah,
for sure. So same thing. Go for make a survival check for me. How long do you want to spend doing this?
Not long that everyone's going like, what's he up to? Just long enough that if this is where we're stopping, he's going to have a look around. If Tolbin's looking for firewood, the amount of time it takes him to gather firewood, I'll use that time, and then we can figure out what we're doing from there. And some more time presents itself, maybe Grumpfel can have a second look if the first look is not successful.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so make a survival check for me, please.
15.
You find a couple of wild carrots, but that's about it.
Okay, that'll do.
What about the rest of you guys? Doing anything particular to set up camp?
Will I pull out my bedrolls, that sort of thing?
Yep.
I'll do the same. Be pulling out bedrolls, get my snacks ready for the night.
Rowan will try and set up a small fire going so that they're good to go.
Yep. So you guys
before
all
joining the fire, Delgrim's just going to put out a hunting trap.
Okay.
Out of ways, not super close. That there's a high likelihood of anyone accidentally stumbling into it.
Tiernan goes for a pee in the middle.
A giant leg.
What's that? Go and Douglas, nothing. Go back to sleep.
What's for dinner? Tiernan. Okay. All right. So no. Look, that's not a problem. You go and place the trap. The rest of you sort of go about getting yourselves organised. Tolbin's got sort of half a fire already set up by the time. Rowan, you sort of, you glance over and see he's already doing that. I don't know if you want to help out or make your own fire, or...
She will help out, despite knowing full well that he probably doesn't want her help.
Yeah, look, when you come over and you sort of start getting involved, he kind of gives you the side eye. And actually makes some space for you to help.
So are we all setting up camp reasonably close, close together?
Are you?
Well, presumably, because you don't want to be close to the fire or something.
Yeah, I think Rowan's setting up so that she's close to the fire, which she's now helping to So she's setting up the fire such that she can set up close to the fire.
Yeah, for sure.
Tiernan will be once he's done with setting up the bedroll, he'll be slowly walking around a small little perimeter.
Yeah.
Around the campfire, if anyone stops to watch, you'll notice that every so often he'll drop a ball bearing. Yeah, and just slowly makes it only a 20-foot area and wants to set up alarm.
Okay, awesome, cool. Done. Delgrim, I think you want to say something?
Yeah, Delgrim will set up just a bedroll situation, specifically looking for like a depression in the ground if they're camping on the ground, or something overhead, just to make him feel a little bit more at home.
Yep.
If it's completely open sky, then he's visibly irritated that that's the case.
Look, there's probably... Let's randomize this. Look, there's a tree that's not too far from where everyone's camped, like within the radius of where Tiernan's setting up his little perimeter. That there's some sort of largish roots you could kind of sort of nestle into almost.
Perfect.
And set yourself up there. As everyone's getting organised, Tolwyn says, make sure you stay close to the fire. We should be fine tonight, but sometimes there's wolves around here. They're not fans of fire, so, it's up to you at the end of the day. But and then he just sort of, sits down on his own little bedroll. And
While I'm sitting on my bedroll, I don't want to freak anyone out, but while I'm sitting on the bedroll, I might cast dancing lights and just have a couple of orbs kind of just at the sides of the camp.
Okay, what do your dancing lights look like?
So almost like a fairy light. So they'd look really kind of smallish and maybe got kind of just pulsing ever so slightly.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So these three little sort of well-described lights sort of illuminate this little area. Awesome, cool.
Miera, you have made these light? These are yours?
Yeah. Sometimes if I think about things, they just kind of happen. So, yeah, I just thought maybe a little extra light might be helpful. Keep wolves away. It's just something I can do.
This is valuable skill.
Thank you, Delgrim. And she'll move just one of the lights will just kind of move a little bit closer to Delgrim where he's.
Awesome. Anything else anyone wishes to do for this evening? Tolbin's literally just sort of like he's lying down in his bedroll, sort of finishing off a piece of jerky, and appears to just sort of be, settling down for the evening.
Rowan's just sort of watching him, trying to like size him up still. But
yeah, he's lying with his back to the fire, sort of facing out into the night. Sword close by. Same thing with the shield. Yeah.
Won't do too much other than sit beside the fire, maybe stare into the fire a little bit.
Yep.
Lost in his own little revelry.
It's crackling away. It's a warm evening. Again, it's the middle of summer. It's actually really quite pleasant. In fact, you probably don't want to get too close to the fire because you'd probably overheat fairly quickly. But you watch as a little spark sort of swirl up into the night air. Their lights sort of mixing with that from Miera's dancing lights as they sort of pulse gently around you. It's all actually probably quite soothing. And with that, unless there's anything else, you guys settle in for the evening.
Grumpfel will actually stay up later for first watch.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
How late are you going to stay up till?
I dare say I can take first watch. Who would like the next watch?
I can go next.
What's a watch?
I assume you're watching for things, right?
That's right.
What you say?
You stay awake and keep people safe.
Oh, okay.
It is smart.
I have actually put down a perimeter to help with that, but I guess seeing them before they cross anything would be helpful as well. I haven't actually been at a campfire with more than myself of late, so.
What do you mean perimeter?
Oh, I just set a small little area that if something crosses it, which is certain size, it'll alert me, even if I'm asleep.
That's pretty cool.
Is
It's
also
handy.
a valuable skill. This is little ball you had before?
Oh, it's a bit more complicated with that, but yeah, that's part of it. Involves charging it up and setting down a few interconnecting ball bearings with various. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I'll take third watch. I don't mind.
I normally wake up early, so I'm happy to take the early at the end of the night if that's easier for everyone else.
You're welcome to join me. I guess I'm taking the last watch, or how many watches are in a night?
It depends on those of the party that wish to take a role.
I will join anyone who feel lonely on watch. You just wake me.
Okay, I guess I'm joining Rowan.
I don't mind. Whatever works.
Okay.
Then fine, I shall take first watch, and then I shall wake Miera and Delgrim for second, and then third shall be Rowan and Tiernan.
Works
Awesome.
for me.
Sounds good.
You can off to the side. You already hear this very sort of low from Tolbin.
A snore, or is he snickering?
Yeah, that's a snore.
That's a snore.
Or
Wasn't
it could be a snicker making inside check. So you guys all settle in. Grumpfel taking the first watch.
Grumpfel pull out he's actually got a flute, and he pull out a small knife, and it's like a reed flute, and he's just sort of not whistling at it, but just sort of making little marks and what have you in it while he looks and listens to the world around.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. So you guys settle in, and Grumpfel, you go about working on your little reed flute, and eventually it comes time to wake up the next two, and you wake up Miera and Delgrim, rouse them from their sleeps, and then you get settled on your own little sleeping mat. The entire night passes uneventfully. Miera and Delgrim, unless there's anything in particular that you guys are wanting to do whilst you're on your watch. If not, then it would go to Tiernan and Rowan. It will be the same question. Otherwise, at this stage, the night will just simply pass uneventfully.
At the end of their watch, Rowan is going to turn to Tiernan.
Do you want help picking up your little metal ball things before everyone starts getting up and doing the morning thing and setting off your alarm?
I won't say no. I just need to be able to deactivate before it gets moved.
Okay.
So I guess once we're almost ready to go, yeah, sure. So
John, look, we haven't got to the part with the cats yet. So can you just move yours out of the? She's turned up too soon.
Spoilers.
Yeah, God damn it.
There's special effects, though.
I know.
Yeah, incredible.
And look, this is the problem. This is why you don't
Too
work
early
with
for your
animals.
cue, Kitty. Too early.
Yeah. This is why you don't work with animals and children. You know, it's just they miss their cues or explosions.
No, he's only here because he's hungry.
So, you guys will wake up the following morning. It's a grey day, and there is just the slightest drizzle. Not enough to be uncomfortable, but it's that kind of drizzle where you're like, I think it's raining. Yeah. You know, there's a couple of drops of rain.
Is Is Tolwyn's fire still going?
Yep. It'll be burning quite low at this stage, but yeah.
Grumpfel pulls out like a little pot with a handle.
Yep.
Water from the water skin and into that, and he's got this little ornate grinder. He puts some coffee in there and grinds it all up. And brings out these little think Turkish coffee size cups, and makes enough for whoever takes interest in what he's doing.
So
Rowan is absolutely fascinated by this little tiny grinder.
Very quickly, like this little campsite would have that smell, that rich, awesome coffee smell filling the air. And even Tolwyn, who was sort of packing up his stuff, glances over curiously.
Would you mind making an extra cup, Grumpfel?
Well, there's enough here for the 6 of us. This is coffee from my mother's clan. It is prepared from underground plants. I don't have much with me, but then again, you don't need much. This is quite exquisite stuff. And like literally, the cup would be smaller than this in my hands. Imagine, in gnomish hands, so smaller again, like not quite a thimble, but like bigger than that.
Yeah.
This little you've seen milk heaters that you put on the stovetop sort of thing, like that, and into 6 of them, and sort of hands them all out.
Awesome.
This is very small. Why you not make more?
Just try that and see how you go.
Sometimes it's not the size of the thing, Delgrim. Sometimes small things are better.
And yes, I was being incredibly careful with my language there, Cass.
So off to the side, you hear sort of a snort from Tolwyn at that statement.
I'll offer everyone a piece of honey nut loaf to go with their coffee.
I love this stuff. Without it, I wouldn't be a morning person.
Tolwyn will take his the small glass or the small cup, and will like sort of one shot it.
And it'd be pretty much like the gnomish equivalent of a really strong Turkish coffee.
Yeah, you sort of see him kind of almost wink. It's like,
oh, that's a spot right
holy
there.
Shit, that's yeah. Phew.
Does that hit the spot there, Tolwyn?
Yeah, look, that's not bad. All right, look, we need to get on the road pretty quickly. Looking at the day, looking how long we travelled yesterday, same pace.
Grumpfel gets all of the cups back and cleans it, puts it away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're all.
We should get to the site probably just on twilight, as long as we don't, stuff about. So let's get cracking. And like heaps of
what time, Tolwyn, were you attacked?
Sort of ponders from it. I think it was late afternoon, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was late afternoon.
Okay, this is fine. And Delgrim will quickly run off and grab his trap as well.
Roll a d20 for me.
Sure.
Is there anything in the trap?
15.
15. There is a single rabbit in the trap.
Magic. Delgrim will just kind of hitch it to the belt and prepare it at the next stop, I guess.
Yep.
Stops to throw its blue jacket away.
Oh! Wow!
Holy
Sorry.
shit.
I don't know where that came from, sorry.
Wow!
Sorry, so we're marching down. I have no idea where that came from.
Hey.
And I thought I was one who liked sort of the dark take on things. All right, so you guys steam off, heading off down the road. The majority of the day is uneventful. It stays overcast. The drizzle picks up a little bit towards lunchtime, and you sort of find yourselves at that point where it's uncomfortable, but you're not soaked through or anything like that. It's just kind of miserable. But it's also still quite warm. And then as the day progresses, the rain sort of eases off again until it's back that very, very light drizzle. About mid-afternoon, the countryside. I've just worked out what the pinging is from the Discord thing. Sorry, I've just realised that that's not me. It's another computer in the room.
The other computer.
Shots
yeah.
fired.
Shaking at that neighboring computer.
Yeah.
Shade. The shade of it all.
Ah.
Oh my god.
Honestly, Mr. GM,
maybe
it didn't bother me
did
at
that.
all.
Oh.
Oh no, can't.
Where were those
I
where were
turned
those where were
Every
those drop
single
bears coming from?
notification I
again?
could get my hands on. At least I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, so no, we'll keep going. So by sort of mid-afternoon, you've noticed that the countryside has become significantly more hilly, and you come to a fork in the road. To the left, the road seems to sort of go around sort of the more hilly terrain. And Tolbin points out that this is actually the main road most of the transport through here goes through. You can see it's significantly better worn. It's a fairly decent sort of road. To the right, the fork goes through the hills. And Tolbin says, look, this is sometimes when people are trying to get through to Harrow, it shaves maybe half a day off the trip. It's a little bit harder because it actually goes through the hills. And that's where we went because we were running out of time. And you can see that road itself is far less well defined. You can see where it goes, but it is definitely the road least traveled. And he says it's probably about another hour or two down here. He says, but we'll probably be getting to about, it'll be nightfall by the time we get there.
Which way did the fireworks go?
Well, I mean, we were coming from the right through the hills because we were trying to shave some time off the trip. So this is where we got attacked.
Is everyone okay with going through the hills then? We find the firework, we find the creature.
Well, we came here for a purpose, didn't we? So
Works for me. Miera?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. That's what we came to do.
I guess the question is, do we proceed to the location and then make a campfire, or try to travel through the night?
We are at mercy of Tolbin's advice. What is your advice, Tolbin?
Well, I mean, probably makes sense to camp here, really. And if we go there, it's going to be dark. And if those things are still around, who knows? Maybe they like doing stuff in the dark. Maybe that's when they prefer to come out. And we got attacked.
This is unlikely.
Hmm?
You were attacked in afternoon. That is not night. They are different times.
Well, yeah, true. But I don't know how these things work. And I mean, personally, I'm not great at nighttime. I can't see in the dark. I'd rather be able to have some decent light, so if these things are going to be lurking, I can at least see them coming. But I mean, again, also, basically, once we're there, I'm heading back to town, so...
Well, if you don't think it's a good idea to be being anywhere near them at nightfall, because, I mean, I can't see at night. I don't know about you, Miera, but, like, I feel like it would be safer to stay here. I know it means you have to put up with us for one extra night, but it means you get a fresh start in the morning as well.
I can't see in the dark. I've got lights, but I don't know if you want to be walking around by yourself. We're not that bad a company, surely.
No, I've travelled with worse. But still, you know...
Stay and I'll give you a cookie.
Make a persuasion check.
Make it delicious.
Make Make a cookie check.
Unless Tolban's spoken with the bakery crew in the last 24 hours, he may Miera may not need to make a persuasion check.
18.
It's a pretty persuasive cookie.
He it is.
That's-
He looks
They're
you
good
down and down.
cookies. Canon.
Yeah. Yep. Cookie of persuasion. Yeah. He looks. I was going to say up and down, but that's wrong, isn't he? He looks you down and down,
The cookies are up here.
and he says, "Well played, Cass.
Wow.
Well
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all night.
will you though?"
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Best.
Does Miera actually say that?
Yeah. Hold my cookie up.
Oh,
Oh.
someone clip that,
he
please.
shakes his head and goes, "Yeah, look,
Round of applause.
I don't even remember what the freaking question was now.
Cookie?
No, I'm not staying for a
Oh.
cookie. Doesn't matter how good your cookie might be.
2 cookies?
No,
We just had a massive gift from the cookies.
Had we?
Sub gift.
oh,
Cookie.
And the comment was worth the cookies.
What?
so
The cookie.
so I know that username. That is one of the dudes who plays in our home campaign, Gav. So Gav, thank you, buddy. That is incredibly generous of you. We're now 999,990 subs away from the next terrible name. So every little sub counts. Thank you very much.
Every little sub helps.
Oh, wait.
Every little sub helps. Yeah. Cheers, Gav. Tobin just goes, Miera. Yeah, no, it's a cookie. I'm not hanging around out here with a bunch of creatures which are potentially just gonna murder us all. I mean, you guys,
Cookies
to
in
be
good
fair,
company.
cookies and good company aren't going to keep me alive. Look, you guys, well, some of you aren't terrible, but still, not unless you're going to pay me anyway, and something
Will you
that's
stay-
not cookies.
Will you stay at least the night to make sure you can show us where it is in the morning so we can
Oh.
all see?
I'll show you to where it is in the morning, but after that, I'm gone.
All right, so I guess we're setting up camp here then, eh?
Can I make a request, Tolden? Can you take first watch? Can you take last watch with me, and then everyone gets there'll be 2 people on every watch, especially if we're this close to the site. So if you and I do the last watch, and then the others can sort out the first 2, and then everyone does a watch, which seems fair.
Yeah, okay. I guess that's fine. I guess it makes a bit more sense considering where we are. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm joining Grumpfel then.
Yes, Grumpfel will take first watch again.
I lay out my alarm as normal.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah. Traps out again.
Excellent. Excellent. So you guys go about getting yourselves all organized for the evening and settle in. Each of the watches, each of the watches passes uneventfully. Once again, if there's anything people are wanting to do while it's their watch, please speak up now or we'll continue rolling along.
I mean,
might,
yes, but I'm not first watch. So.
I actually might have strike up a conversation with Grumpfel, just sort of trying to get a feel for the land around us and where he's been before he came here, that sort of thing. Just trying to understand.
Yeah, Grumpfel will sort of still do the best he can, carving in his little reed flute.
Yep.
Do you want us to RP, or is this dialogue
It
for
is
narrative?
Entirely up to you.
Probably pretty general, to be honest.
No, that's fine.
So you guys have a bit of a conversation, sort of share a bit of
Yeah.
information, a bit of background, which is cool. And then wake up Delgrim and Miera. Again, if there's anything that you 2 guys are wanting to do.
Delgrim's real curious about Sparkletown and anywhere really in general. And just tell me about this Sparkletown. What is your favorite thing about this town?
Wow. My favorite thing is probably what we're best known for, and there's the Rainbow Lake that's just outside of Sparkletown, and when the sun hits it at just the right point and at the right time of year, these just amazing rainbow lights sparkling everywhere. It's just absolutely amazing, and it's what we're best known for. People come to visit us from everywhere to see the lights and to drink our hot chocolate and come and stay and go and buy stuff at the Bits and Bobs store. It's nice. It's just a nice place to be. Everyone's friendly.
It sounds like a very nice place, very beautiful place. Why is it you leave? Your friend went missing. Did you leave to find him, or do you not want to be there now?
No, I'm happy at home. My friend left, and I don't really know why. And I need to find her. I need to know answers. It's just not like her to disappear the way she did. We've been there since we were little. So it's really out of character for her to go missing. But I miss home, and I miss my parents. My dad said to look for good people and stick with the good people. And I think maybe I found some good people to stick with for now.
Yeah, I do not think people can be black or white, one or other, good or bad necessarily all the time. No person is one thing all the time, but they do not seem cruel. This is good. I hope we can help you find your friend.
Thank you, Delgrim. And how are you feeling out in the open?
It is always very strange. Always when I was small, they always rock over my head. It's safe, it's comfortable, it's small space. Now there is just sky. It's just there all the time. And the sky, it came to me in dream one time. It's quite scary and terrifying.
The sky came to you in a dream?
Yes, a great, terrifying presence with the dawn and casting great shadows. I had never felt this before. I needed to see with my own eyes what this looked like, what these shadows feel like. It's not the same. It's not as terrifying as that vision. But it is not a pleasurable experience for me to be out on top of the world here.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I guess you could always just keep wearing your hat and it will feel like you're closed in more.
This hat make me feel great. This hat make me feel very comfortable. If I lose this hat, I'd be very upset.
You know what you could do also? You could get like some material over the top of it. So it'd be like... Have you ever seen someone catching bees before?
Tell me of this bee catching.
Well, because bees obviously sting. So they have these hats and they have like material that kind of drapes down them and it stops the bees from coming in and stinging you. You could have something like that so you'd be more closed in.
Like some kind of protective veil down from hat brim.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, see-through material so you can still see through it so you're not bumping into everything, but it would just close you in.
Like my eye cloth. The eye cloth I have, It's see-through. It help with the glare of the sun, but I still see.
Something like that. That would be cool.
I would try that. We would have to see. I would still need to be able to move and to do what I do. If it's too noisy, that is a problem. I like to hunt things, to track things. You need to be quiet to do this. If it make too much noise,
if you get snagged on something, it might make too much noise.
I so desperately wish we had like people who did fan art, and please, if there's someone who does like art or something in the chat, I desperately want to see Delgrim with the hat, but also with the central the beak. That's just
future swarm keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, that's how this shit happens. So with that, your guys' watch comes to an end, and you wake up. Rowan and Tolbin. Tolbin's a little bit slower to rouse, but mutters under his breath as he gets woken up. Rowan, was there anything that you were wanting to? Yeah.
So Rowan's gonna like stoke the fire and make sure that it's not gonna go out, and like do sort of some futzing things while she's on the start of the watch, and then probably like half an hour in, once the others have drifted off to sleep or attempts at sleep. I didn't mean to invade your personal space and ask too many questions. You know that, right?
Well, then why'd you do it?
Curiosity.
Bingo.
Because there's a car on the line. No.
Where does this car come from?
Curiosity.
Well, look, it's like I said before, like being curious, like you just need to be careful. Like that is literally the sort of thing that will get you killed. You're getting in people's faces if you're asking lots of questions. I know plenty of people who would more than happily just stab first, ask questions later, or in your case, answer questions.
I guess, may I ask an additional question after the one I am currently asking in order to get one more piece of information out of you, please?
I think so. Yes.
It's just if you say, can I ask your question, you're asking a question, it's not the same. Anyway, why bother answering my questions at all if you don't think they should be answered? Like, I know my family used to say curiosity killed the cat, and maybe that was true because you shouldn't do experiments with animals, but my question is, why would you listen to my questions and answer them and not just walk away? Because you didn't have to stay on the fence. Right? Like,
yeah, no,
I don't
no. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I don't know. I mean, like I've known halflings who have done some pretty terrible things. I don't think you're one of them. I don't know. I think that's probably why I did it. I mean, you don't seem like you're out for something. And to be honest, most of the people that I deal with, everyone's got a hidden agenda.
Right.
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about you.
I mean, you can ask questions if you want. I don't know that I've got any hidden agenda.
Mom, I don't want to ask questions. I honestly don't care.
No, but I guess I more mean I don't know if I have a hidden agenda because no one asks the questions because no one asks questions, and so I'm the one who asks questions, and Sorry, this conversation got circular.
I'm kind of confused. I'm also still trying to wake up. So, like, is there something that you want, or
More something I don't want? I don't want these people who I've just met, and she's like gesturing to the crowd of sleeping ones, to get hurt. And we're all small, and you're not small. You promised Peridin that you'd bring us out here. I know that much. My worry, you've met these folk. You've met Delgrim. You know he's going to say something stupid in front of a group of people. And not exact. He doesn't have the same boundaries that you do or I do. And I feel like he's going to say something dumb to whatever these cat things are and get a bunch of people hurt. And I don't want that to happen. So what I'm asking, I guess, is will you make sure that doesn't happen?
make a persuasion roll?
Uh, 15 plus 3, 18.
You see him sort of glance over at the slumbering form of Delgrim. He's probably half buried under his hat. He
That hat is snoring.
points over at him and he goes, "You have a look at this new friend of yours. He's got some armor on. He's carrying weapons and stuff. There's something about him that suggests to me that he's not like the Peridins of the world who carry around a sword or a dagger and it's all show, and the first time they try and use it, they die.
Sure, but look
I
at
get
some
the
of the other people in this group. Look at me. You said yourself that I'm not someone who's going to be able to do anything bad to anybody.
Look, Rowan, I got paid to do a job, and you seem nice and all. And
I'm asking you to delay going back to town by a day. Really, that's all I'm asking.
I'm sorry. It's what I've been paid to do.
You've been paid to go back to town tomorrow?
I've been paid to take you guys out to here.
Sure, so don't leave.
And then once that's done, that's it. I honestly think you're foolish. I think it's a good chance you're all going to die out here. And me being here as well is not going to make any difference.
I don't believe
just-
that, but okay.
She just like walks off like to another part of wherever the circle is that Tiernan's dropped out to like look out to.
And you can sort of see him sort of start to sort of keep going, and then as you sort of walk away, it's like sort of sits back down on his bedroll and so dawn breaks. And
no.
Yeah. Oh no. Who's dawned?
Yeah.
And it's a much clearer day today. The long grass is still sort of covered in the rain from the day before. It's sort of slowly drying off, but there's only a few wisps of cloud in the sky as you all sort of slowly wake up, put out the fire.
Not yet. I am not a morning person. I need my coffee.
The
Same
fire is
ritual.
not put out until Grumpfel sorts out his coffee.
Who would like? I'm pretty sure I'm going to get 6 yeses.
Yep,
Yeah,
even
that's incredible.
Tolban's still on board.
Tiernan
Cool.
will always say yes to coffee.
So once the morning coffee ritual has been completed and everyone is sufficiently caffeinated,
as Grumpfel hands him out. May your time and duty be long and blessed. Gets all of the cups back, gives them a wash, puts it all away.
Awesome. Excellent. I need to create like a magical coffee set or something like that. I'm
sure we can come up with something.
I'm sure with it. Oh, that's so many ideas. Okay, so as you pack up, Tolbin says probably hour and a half, 2 hours from here. And he just starts trudging off as usual. And to his word, about 2 hours later, you guys arrive, and the road has slowly sort of started to go sort of downhill, and you're cutting through a number of quite tallish, sort of it's a very small pass of hills, sort of sparse trees on the hillsides and lots of tall thick grass, and up ahead you can see as you come around the bend a wagon. You can see one of the wheels on the wagon appears to be sort of slightly off center as you sort of approach, you sort of slight distance off. Tolbin points ahead and says, well, that's it. That's the wagon.
Tolbin, which direction did this creature come from?
Can we...
Up there to the south. And he sort of points up, sort of one of the slopes towards the south. Yeah, Grumpfel?
I was just going to say, I didn't want to interrupt the narrative. Sorry, the brain started before it heard that you were continuing. Is like if Tolbin's pointed this out, can I make a perception or an investigation or a roll of your choice? Perception, totally a roll like insight. Totally a roll of your choice that we could make just to make sure that there's nothing laying in wait for us that might perception check or insight check would be preferable. Thank you. Just so that we can make sure everything's good.
So you want to sort of scan the area to see what's going on? Absolutely.
Yes, please. You're like, if there's a particular skill that would help, perception or insight, you think that we would be able to have a look around to make sure that everything's not untoward.
Cool. Make an acrobatics roll. No, I'm just kidding. What I'll do is I'll work out
12.
I'll work out everybody else. So whilst Grumpfel is going to take the time to have a look and see if he can spot anything, what's everybody else going to do?
Is Tolbin leaving like now?
Tolbin is just standing there for the moment.
And if he tries, he's going to be getting interrogated first.
Rowan's going to start walking up towards the carts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Rowan's but like in that sort of, I'm annoyed that you basically said that you're not going to stick around and help.
Yep.
Type energy.
Okay, so Rowan is heading that way while Grumpfel has a look around. What's everybody else doing?
I'll probably be going over the cart to investigate it a little bit.
What's the distance from us to the carts before people start moving towards the carts?
It's probably about 40 feet to where the carts are.
Yep, no worries.
Yep. Sorry, Tiernan, what were you doing? You're going to go and investigate the carts?
Mm-hmm. And possibly look to see what damage is actually being done to it.
Yeah, for sure. Miera and Delgrim?
Well, if Tolbin's just about to head off, I'm just going to look at him, and in his head he'll just hear me whisper, "Stay." That's it.
He's just standing there currently, and as you do that, his eyes just go wide, and he just sort of stares at you, and takes a step backwards. Doesn't run or anything, but just almost involuntarily.
Being in conversation with Tolbin, is Delgrim going to clock that at all? Notice the interaction.
So what was Delgrim doing? Just so I can get this all straight in my head.
having a conversation with Tolman about how the events played out.
So absolutely. Like as you're sort of asking about that, you suddenly it's because it's very obvious. His eyes just go wide. So it takes a step back, probably back from you as well.
What is wrong, Tolman?
Nothing. So sorry, what were we talking about? We're talking about what was going on, or what happened. Was that's what you wanted to know, wasn't it?
It was, but you seem different. Before you were cocky, you were arrogant, you were different. Now something has spooked you. What is that?
Come back to that in just a tick. Grumpfel, can you make your perception check for me, please?
Yeah. 16.
You survey the countryside, having a look to see if there's anything that you can spot that seems sort of untoward or dangerous or sort of not right about the scenery. You can't see anything unusual, not from where you are. Everything seems to be fine. There's a slight breeze, and you can sort of see the long grass rippling along with it, and some of the nearby trees sort of moving slightly in the coolness of the air. But apart from that, no, everything else seems to be sort of fine.
Okay.
Tolman sort of looks back to you, Delgrim, and goes, "Oh, look, just it was a bad night when this all happened. The people who got attacked, they were friends. So I'm just a bit thrown by this." Anyway, you were saying, so they came from the south.
You
Jumped
say
a couple.
I thought you're not sure if 1 or 2. Is 1 or 2?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's 2. Well, like I said, it was. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
And they took a wheel off wagon?
Well,
How
no,
did
because
wheel
the
come off
horse.
wagon?
There was a horse that was pulling it, and I think what happened was the horse got frightened, and when it went to run, the wagon hit like a rock or something, and it dislodged the wheel. Shit, go and have a look for yourself if you don't believe me.
I will. Did you not look for horse? Did you not look for what did you do when
Hey, what did I do?
when creature attack?
Well, apart from the fact that I managed to like barely survive one of them attacking me, I ran.
Where were you attack? You show me where. It's okay if you're scared. I hold your hand.
I'm just gonna be holding a cookie as well and going like this, still waving a cookie and this. Yeah. It's tempting.
As this is happening, Tiernan, you were going over to investigate the wagon. Rowan, you were going over to have a look as well, weren't you? Yeah. So, Tiernan, can you make an investigation check for me, please? Rowan, what exactly were you doing? Are you just sort of having a look around the area? Are you actually sort of like checking out the wagon to see what's happened?
Yeah, sort of more on the if people are driving a wagon, she would know what a wagon that's broken looks like because of home. So looking at what the evidence says about what happened here as opposed to what he's said about what happened here.
For sure. Okay. So that will be an investigation check then. So both of you could make those rolls.
21.
21, okay.
Flat 10.
Flat 10. Okay. Rowan, you have a look at it and you sort of examine around. And I mean, you can see that there's the largest rock on the road. And yeah, kind of looks like, the wagon wheel could have been dislodged if it hit that. Tiernan, you investigate the wagon and you sort of see Rowan checking out the wheel and stuff like that. And and you get in there and have a bit of a look as well. What you notice is that if the wheel had have hit the rock, there would be some damage on the wheel itself, like on the outside of the wheel, but there's not. And as you look closer, it almost looks like someone has potentially moved the peg, like one of the pegs that kind of keeps the wheel locked in, and that's offset it. It's been done in a fashion which would be quite easy to miss, which is why Rowan didn't pick up on it. But between those two factors, it looks more like the wagon wheel has been sabotaged rather than actually caused, like damage caused by an accident or a crash or something.
Is it
So whilst
fixable?
you guys, sorry, yep.
Is it fixable?
Yeah, it looks super easy to fix. You could probably just realign the wheel, put the peg in properly, and it'd be all tickety boo. Oh, drink a drink. Cheers.
Well, after noticing this, I gesture to Rowan to come over. Just come over here at the moment, Rowan. I want to show you something.
What have you found?
Well, it appears as though, and I lower my voice so it's not like really loud or anything like that. And I point out that you notice the pegs in the wheel. It's not actually broken. It's more of a case of being pulled out and offset, almost deliberately.
Rowan, having seen broken carts before, has just gone, that's not how cartwheels break.
Not unless someone wanted it to.
No. She glances back down the hill to where that conversation is happening.
So as you glance back down the hill, you can hear Tolbin go, "What's your problem, Delgrim? Like, I told you guys that I would come out here, I would help you find this thing. You've got this issue with me or something. I don't know what's going on with you."
I have no issue with you. I want to understand creature. This is how we hunt. Is we understand what it is we hunt.
Look, if you want to hunt the creature, that is entirely up to you. You keep questioning me, you keep asking me all these other things. It's like you're trying to, I don't know, accuse me of something. And that's not what I'm here for. I was going to hang around and help out. But you know what? Screw this. You guys, I'm not getting paid enough for this. This is just bullshit.
You
And he
were
turned-
going to stay?
Yeah, I was. I'm not going to now.
Come
Maybe
on.
you guys should listen to your friend over there a bit more. Maybe don't be such an asshole.
You
And he
second
turns
chance to be brave.
You know what? Fuck being brave. And he turns around and just starts striding off down the road.
Tolbin, she's going to call down after him.
And he just goes, "No."
I just had a question about something I can see here, but I don't know about the cart. I just wanted to ask you one question about the cart.
He's steady stride walking away.
How far away is he?
From where you guys are, from there, he'd probably be about 60 feet at this stage.
I would like to pull my pistol and fire on the ground in front of him.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm not trying to hit him.
Yeah.
trying to stop him.
No. I get that.
Trying to make him dance.
Make a.
He
There's
can
a
dance if he
redeem.
wants to.
There's a redeemer.
He's already left his friends behind.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
his friends don't dance.
No, Grumpfel does not. Wait, what?
Which means they're no friends of his.
Yes.
Okay.
Hats on,
Tiernan.
everyone.
Tiernan, make an attack roll for me.
Now, this is technically a spell, so
So spell attack roll.
spell attack roll.
Yeah. The appropriate attack roll.
19.
19. Okay.
Jeez, I'm rolling really well. This is what happens when I don't roll physical dice.
So you pull out your pistol, and it's just the firebolt.
Yeah.
How much noise does it make?
doesn't make noise, it makes light.
Okay. So there's this almost silent flash, and Delgrim, this bolt of fiery energy scuds past you and slams into the road just in front of where Tolbin is.
Friend Tiernan, why you do this? Why you scare him more?
He stops where he is, and he sort of turns around slowly, and he's got one hand on the hilt of his sword, and he looks back down at you, Tiernan, and then he turns around again, and he just keeps walking.
Leaving the scene of the crime, I see.
And this voice floats back, "Fuck you." What's everybody else doing?
I would like to do another perception check of the area with watching this unfold. Grumpfel may have been privy to a situation like this in his past, so he's going to just look around to see if there's anything coming from where we're not looking.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, make another perception check for me. A little bit of paranoia is healthy for the soul.
20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Look around. No.
No.
So
Okay.
listen, and the main thing you can hear is the sound of Tolbin's boots.
Cool.
As he strides off down the road.
I call flame strike down on him. No, kidding.
I walk
A few
over.
more levels.
I
It's by this
keep my
much.
pistol out. Keep my pistol out. I gesture to Rowan to come with me, and I would like to walk over to Delgrim and basically say, "That thing's been sabotaged."
I
This
don't
is all
think
the
Rowan
wagon.
notices you go. Rowan's watching Tolbin go.
Can Delgrim do? So I've got Tolbin's story about how it played out, right?
Yeah.
If I run like a survival check on the tracks and such around the wagon to either confirm or correct any of that information as best as can be possible with that.
Absolutely. That would be perfect. Yep.
It's 5.
You have a look around the wagon. And due to probably the rain from the last day, and the fact that it's been probably close to almost 4 days since this has happened now, by the time he would have got back to town, 3.5 days, by the time he got to town and you guys got back, you can't see any signs of like tracks or anything around it. You can sort of see roughly where the wagon was coming from. Conversations with Tiernan, which would probably be part of this, you'd be able to sort of understand where he's coming from and the fact that it doesn't look like it was an accident. But anything else beyond that, it's hard to really tell if what Tolbin was saying was true or not.
We should stop Tolbin then, right? We should. If his story not true, if wagon has been sabotaged, he is the only witness. He's the only one who know.
I don't think I don't think we're gonna stop him though. I think he's just going to.
How far away is he?
At this stage, he's probably almost gone around sort of the bend in the road. So he's probably 70 or 80 feet away and barely visible at this point in time.
Like I can hit him.
How far your magic light shoot?
No, the further he gets away, the harder he gets to hit.
And shoot is like
done. Hang on, I'm trying to. Anyone stopping me? Because
But
I'm just gonna do.
hang on. If you shoot him, he's not going to be happy. And he's not going to help. So are we at this point tying him up? What's the plan?
He didn't want to be here. There's something up with the card that looks at sabotage, and he's trying to leave the scene as quickly as possible.
Trying to leave because he's not being paid to be here. And he doesn't want to be here. She just calls that down from where she's standing, like the distance away from everyone else.
Am I
But
stopping
it
him, or
seemed
am I
he
stopping him?
lie. It seemed he lie. Why would he lie about the wagon? About the firework?
Maybe there wasn't any fireworks. Or if the whole thing is just like, is there even any marks of indications of a struggle?
If
I
you
look, there's been rain. I cannot tell.
Well, I guess we're letting him go.
I'm not going to tell you what to do, but he's not going to cooperate. He's going back to town. I guess we could just find him when we get there if we have evidence. At this point, you're just injuring someone that we don't have anything on.
Well, I could heal him.
It's still going to hurt, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm a stranger in these lands, so I'm not too sure what the best approach is.
All I'm saying is if you hurt me and then you heal me, I'm still going to remember the hurty bit.
Yes, Miera makes a very good point. Either, yes, we let him go, or we restrain him.
And Tiernan, I feel like you and I are not the best judge of what is the right thing to do here. I think perhaps we listen to our friends.
Once he's out of Rowan's sight, she's going to go back to looking at the cart to try and work out some, like, whether there's been stuff on it or whether it's been empty or what's going on with it.
Grumpfel will accompany Rowan over to the cart.
Okay. So if you two, doing that, you can make an investigation check. You can either individually make rolls, or one of you can roll with advantage because the other person is helping, whichever is your preference.
Both roll.
Both roll. Let's say both roll.
Yeah.
Say
Okay.
everyone roll.
Everybody roll. Rolling.
18.
Mass investigation.
Also 18.
Oh,
No,
look at
no, that is a
No.
lie. I'd use my perception stat, not my investigation stat. That is a 16. That's a 16. My
Okay,
apologies.
still two very excellent rolls. You guys examine the area, and with those you can see some scrape marks on the back of the wagon, where it looks like there's probably been something fairly heavy that's been dragged off. Grumpfel, you notice as you sort of hop down off the back of the wagon, off to the side of the road, you can see, you're like, oh, it looks like some of the grass a little bit further down, just a little bit past where sort of Delgrim had stopped sort of looking. There appears to be, I don't know, there's something in the ground. It looks like something's maybe been dragged that way,
Mm-hmm.
sort of off into the grass.
Grumpfel will point this out to Rowan. Have a look over here.
Now that it's been pointed out to her, can she see if it like continues off further? Like,
Yeah, look, anyone who goes and looks, it's now that you've noticed it, you know what to look for, and you can see that it appears to be sort of two drag marks fairly close together, and they go probably about 10 feet, and you can see hidden amongst the long grass a body. The body appears, it's definitely a body that has been left lying around for 4 days, and that the wildlife have certainly probably had a crack at. But it appears to be wearing armor, and it has a variety of sort of injuries where, if you can investigate if you wish.
I think Rowan would to find out what kind, do these essentially what she's looking at is, do these injuries look like they're man-made?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or sorry, person-made or creature-made?
Yep, for sure.
Grumpfel will join the same, but he will also start for his circle and choice of religion. Start effectively what's the deep known equivalent of last rites. Before he does that, he will sort of turn to look if anyone hasn't joined us with this scrape marks and following over. It's kind of just gesture them back over here. He'll pull out like a piece of black cloth, lay it over the body once Rowan's finished looking at it, and sort of hold his holy symbol and start, your time and duty has been fulfilled. Now go and go to the land of your forebears.
Awesome. So once again, you guys can make a medicine or actually a survival check. And you can either roll individually or one of you can roll with advantage. Up to you.
If I roll, I will roll survival. It's up to you.
I want to give survival.
Grumpfel's pretty good with medicine. I might do that.
Let's do them individually then.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyone who wants to investigate the body is more than welcome to participate.
18. Actually 18.
Okay.
On a survival check, not on a medicine check.
15 on medicine.
I did an 8 on medicine.
What was yours, Delgrim?
15 on survival.
Okay. You all sort of are excluding sort of Tiernan, who I'm sure is still trying to work out exactly whether or not he's going to shoot someone or not.
No, he's decided. He's just trying to think about the whole picture. He's not coming to much conclusions.
So you guys examine the body, and you can see things like, like the fingertips have been chewed off, obviously by wild animals. You can see there are a number of injuries on the face, which would appear to again be after this person has become deceased. Wild animals. There appears to be what at a glance looks like large claw marks on the chest, especially sort of down to one side, almost sort of under where sort of the leather armor they're wearing stops, sort of in a vulnerable space. But as you look closer, it's not claws that have done this. It is definitively the blade of a weapon. And that is where we will stop for the night.
Mystery.
To continue the narrative of next time, 15 on medicine, you can tell me what that tells me next time.
And look, it would be, absolutely.
And fade.
And fade to black.
That was very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. That went to a bunch of interesting places tonight. So
that was a good lot of ROLE and as opposed to a good lot of ROLL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as words may bad.
As like with the last time.
Yes.
Three.
So much more better.
It's a movie. First word.
Yeah. First word. Idiot. Favorite parts of the session. So Heath, do you want to kick us off?
Favorite parts of
or favorite part? Favorite part.
Favorite PG part of the session. I would have to say Miera and the cookie. Any part that had Miera and the cookie, that was very cool.
Awesome.
The bribing of a cookie to get Tobin to center, but it's a cookie.
Yeah.
Cookies are up here.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
the cookies are up here. Yes.
That was
yes.
absolute friggin' gold.
The cookies are up here.
That's so good.
That is fan art.
That is merch.
That is fan art
merch
I want.
right there.
Yeah. That's a sticker. Yeah, my cookies are up here. That's a sticker.
Yeah, absolutely. Kate, what about you?
Look, I say this knowing that it didn't go to a PG place, but the idea of Paladin and Delgrim, like Delgrim teaching Paladin how to fight, with his sword, I liked that until it broke me into 1,000 small pieces. But I liked the idea of that being the way that Rowan successfully convinced him to be less of a giant jerkbag.
Yes.
I think that was cool.
So I almost feel like that you could redo that scene with Unchained Melody playing behind it.
I think, for me, it was
Potter's wheel.
The idea that you don't know how to use your sword, you have to make a choice of either learn how to use it or don't. And then Delgrim going, I'll teach you how to use it. I liked that.
Just shuffles up behind this very tall creature and like this.
Yeah,
around the waist.
Oh, God.
I more prefer the Highlander. They're on a boat and he's trying to teach him how to fight.
I didn't mean to bring it back up again. Someone
Delgrim,
else
that's not my
Someone
sword.
else.
Okay, Delgrim, how about Promethean? How about you?
It was absolutely my cookies are up here. That was just outstanding.
Yeah,
but beyond that, it was how impressed I was with Sarah having seen that hat before any of you did.
Yeah.
not leaking that information beforehand. It was great. That was my favorite bit.
That was great.
I had to share it with someone immediately. I was so excited when it came. I was very happy.
No, that's awesome. John, how about you?
Oh, it's a hard one to pick from tonight. There's quite a few good ones, but obviously Cookie is up here, and the bit about the whole swordplay where I'm literally looking at Kate and Kate desperately trying not to laugh, which set me off, which I think also helped set her off. It's just mine's in the gutter.
Yeah, it's great. Awesome. And Cass,
it's like none of you played with swords before. Ooh, God.
I mean, I don't own one, so it does make it slightly more difficult.
Moving right along from that.
Yeah.
I also don't have a sword, but that's beside the point.
No.
I think I liked the fact that Delgrim was teaching Peregrine or Peridin about crossing swords. And Tiernan got a lesson about wrapping his meat and other goods before he put it in his pocket. So I thought that was in the same sort of vein.
I feel like this episode should just now be retitled as "Whoops, it wasn't as PG as we meant it to be."
Yeah. So it says you really need to add that extra tag to the Twitch channel, like 18 plus or whatever.
Sorry.
It actually does have this.
NSFW and everything else.
It wasn't fully NSFW this week. It was just heavily implied.
It was heavily implied.
Heavily.
No, that's awesome.
What about you?
Lots of getting me to think on my toes with the RP. Both Delgrim has approached to Peridin and then Rowan and Tolden. It made me as a DM potentially go to places that I wasn't expecting. So no, that was I have enjoyed and look forward to more of that kind of stuff. And the cookies, it's just fucking gold.
The best.
So, no, it was, the whole thing was cool. I liked we had some jovial moments, there were some more serious moments. It was a nice little sort of eclectic collection of experiences.
I like how we may have just let a cold-blooded killer walk away. That was cool.
Hey, maybe not. You never
Might
know.
still be
Bye,
able to
buddy.
shoot him. You never know.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, to those of you who are still lurking in the chat, hey, thanks, guys. The winner of the car is
Me for making the bingo sheet in the first place.
Yeah, sure. Why
Yeah.
not? Why not? We'll get that Matchbox car out to you next week.
Yeah.
Not
next week. Well, between now and
some other time.
We had some good chat in the chat. We had some good subs. We had some followers. We had some good activity in there. Give yourselves a big pat on the back.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who threw some subs out. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And just thank you for coming and watching. And hopefully we'll see as many of you back as possible next in a fortnight. And we'll find out exactly what's going to happen. Did they let a cold-blooded killer go? Are there things lurking in the hills? What's going to happen next? Who knows?
He's going to murder the entire town, isn't he?
Gosh.
It could be worse.
And whose fault
Will that be?
Tune in next week.
But not hitting him, hitting the ground instead.
As Talera said in the chat, if you've got suggestions on what you might want to see on future bingo cards, absolutely tweet them at us because we'd love to expand that. Maybe add a few extra tricky things for us to hit.
Yeah, I will be making it next weekend. So if you have stuff, DM it this week or put it in a Twitter thread that I will create in the next half an hour so that you can chuck it all in there.
Put it in the world.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Let other people know if you've enjoyed it. We'd love to see you guys back again. Otherwise, I believe we're going to go and throw ourselves at someone else. Who are we?
Your choice of words is amazing, Hamish.
I know. Me done words feel good. Yeah.
Yeah, crit and miss. Crit and miss. Do it. Yes.
All right. So we're going to go and raid crit and miss. Again, thank you very much, everyone, for coming and watching. Have fun, play nice. We'll talk to you another time.
Bye.
I'm doing it like it's a work meeting. That's terrible.
I know.
We love you. Bye. You're great. We'll see you back next time.
Absolutely.
Come find us on the Twitters and stuff.
Absolutely. Tweet us if you like stuff.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll be hiding under a hat.